Morning, Reggie. What's up, Job? Hey, Jennifer. Sit down, sissy, so you don't fall. What's up, Hannah? Good morning. Good morning, WSB. Good morning, Tiny Dreamer. Hey, Dusty. Hello, everyone. What's up, Salt and Sassy? What's up, Tawana? How are you? What's up, Rashad? How is everyone? If you are on Facebook or YouTube, I will not be able to see you until you speak. So make sure that you say hello. Good morning, Patricia. Hey, Essie. What's up, Gina? Good morning, everybody. How are you guys? It has been a couple of days. Good morning, Jeremy. Good to see you. What's up, Ricky Curry? Good to see you. Hey, Sandy. What's up, Dale Grave? Good morning, Susie. Hello, everyone. What's up, Jeanette? What's up, P. Jones? How is everybody? Everybody's okay? I took a couple of days off and did not go live. Put out another podcast episode. Good morning, Lynn Cotton. Got that taken care of. We'll have another one coming out tomorrow as well. Okay, is the world? Yeah, right, Amanda. I don't really know. Good morning, Kathy. Hey, Susan. Good to see you guys. Yeah, you guys missed me. What's up, Tam Bam? Yeah, so it was a thing. So what's up, Marky? It wasn't really like I intended to take time off, like I intended to be live. But honestly, wasn't quite up for it. Be careful, sissy, don't fall, okay? What's up, Amanda? Good morning. Hey, how are you? Hey, Christine. Good to see you guys. Hey, Mother Football. What's up, T? Good to see you all. Sexy Sand, everybody. Hey, Repented Heart. How are you, Renee? What's up? Yeah. So, hey, Auntie Tiff. Listen. I want to talk. There's quite a bit happening this morning already, which is cool, right? I do want to talk to you guys. You starting to be concerned, Linda? I put in the Discord kind of what was going up. So for those of y'all who do not know, I was live on Facebook. Was it Friday night? Maybe Friday night. I think Friday night is when I was live on Facebook, and it wasn't really like a planned live. It was just like I ended up live. What's up, Jazz? You guys missed me. I am glad, missed you too. But it was a very hard conversation. What's up, Donna Ski? It was a very emotional conversation. So if you are not familiar, thanks, Sleepless. I appreciate that. So if you're not familiar, if you haven't heard the Facebook Live, or if you haven't listened to the podcast, and heard, I took the bulk of that Facebook Live and kind of put it on the podcast. And if you weren't there, if you didn't hear it, if you didn't listen to it on the live, it was very intense. It was a lot of emotion. And the person who had joined me on that podcast is from back home where I'm from, right? And so that made it an even more, how can I say this? It made it an even more intense conversation. He was a white gentleman, and we're from the same hometown area. He worked for the medical monopoly that I have protested for a really, really long time. So it was very, very intense. And so, sometimes when I am not, let me just say this. Okay. So I think that people should do their work in the way that works for them, right? What I consider to be doing the work is not just about going live. What I consider to be doing the work is when you actually have meaningful conversations, and you want to try to make some headway, and you want to really try to kind of reach some place of understanding. Like, I'm truly interested in getting us moving forward in the right direction, right? So obviously, if I was only concerned with my leagues on TikTok, I'd be going live once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day for hours at a time, because that would keep my league status up. If I was only interested in that, I would have already sent out the email telling everybody how to subscribe directly, and I haven't done that. Because those things are necessary and I need to do them, right? Because obviously food costs money. Good morning, Mary. But the thing is that it's emotional work for me. I don't know how it is for other creators, because I'm not any other creator. I'm not any other educator. I'm not any other broadcaster. I'm only me. So I don't know if it is as emotionally taxing for other people as it is for me to do this work, but it is. And sometimes it kind of sneaks up on me. And I don't know if you all know what that's like, where you're in the middle of something and it's very intense and it's very meaningful. And so you're all in it, right? And then when it's over, it kind of sneaks up on you and you don't realize exactly how drained you are, or all of the stuff that it brought up for you to kind of deal with. And so that is what happened to me. It ended up the emotion of it and the energy of it ended up kicking my ass for a couple of days. I ended up kicking my ass for a couple of days because it brought up a lot of different things for me. And I think that these are things that, some people don't think about. And I do. I had a very frustrating conversation with a friend of mine this morning, because he was talking about Trump again today, and he was talking about this and that, and he speaks about it in these very distant terms, as if it's just this thing that's happening, as if it isn't something that is impacting people every single day. And that's the part that I find very, very, very frustrating for me. I don't like it when people talk about it as if it's from this third party, third or fourth place that's removed from it, as if this isn't happening to all of us, as if it doesn't have consequences. And just so you know, just because you may not have children that you're scared to send to school, just because you might not be scared to go to work, just because you might not being rounded up by ICE or the police or being put on a military plane and being shipped out of the country, just because it isn't you, make no mistake, it is happening to every single one of us. Hey, Alan. And what do I mean by that? And some of y'all are going to be like, oh shit, here we go with the woo 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 stuff. I don't really care what you think. Here's what I do know for a fact. We are all connected. Every single one of us is connected together. And whether you get that or you don't get that, right? The reality is very simple, is that when something happens to one of us, it will have a ripple effect. And in some way, shape, or form, that is going to show up in your life in some way. Okay. So you can try to act remove, you can try to be, a smart ass, you can try to be self-righteous. Well, they should do this and they should do that. And it's amazing to me how people pass judgment about people that they don't even know, right? You pass judgment, you have something to say, you think that you know something that you literally know nothing about, right? And so this is the part for me that really frustrates me with people who believe that they are good people. I hear people saying all the time, well, I don't agree with what's happening, but there's nothing, blah, 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 blah. I don't agree with what's happening, but let's just see what wait to happen. I don't agree with what, listen, let me just be very, very clear. If you don't agree with what's happening, then you need to be doing something about it. And if you're not doing anything about it, then whether you agree or not, you are complicit. So I'm going to say this again very clearly. Okay. If you do not agree with it, then you need to be doing something about it. If you're not doing anything about it, then whether you agree or not is irrelevant. You are complicit. And that is the place that we are at right now in this country. You are complicit. And I cannot make it any simpler than that. Got it? You are complicit. And I don't care how often you pray. I don't care if you love Jesus. I don't care if you do 5 Hail Marys. I don't care how many mission trips you went on. I don't care if you read your Bible every day. I literally do not care. If you are not doing something to protect the least of us, you are complicit. So, whatever you're doing to make yourself feel okay about it, whatever story you're telling yourself to give yourself like the ability to distance yourself from what's happening, whatever that is, right? You might want to deal with it. What's up, baby? Go ahead. You can turn it on, sweets. How do you ask me? Yes, I will. 1 second. She wants me to turn this on for her. Hold on. Yeah, it got dark all of a sudden, huh? It's overcast outside. All right. Um, what do I suggest? Oh, well, let's answer that for you, Sandy, because I suggest a lot of different things. So I'll bring you up to the panel and we can talk about the things that I suggest. I talk about them all the time. And if this is your first time in my life, you may not know what all I talk about in terms of what are the things that we can be doing, right? But I do. So for those of you who may be new to this space, let me be very clear. Okay. So I don't bitch online. I properly address the things that are happening in this country that are inappropriate or illegal. that we should be concerned about. I talk about the things that people are doing in this world and in this country that violate the rights of other people. And then I actually walk the talk that I talk, right? So I am someone who has very often done whatever needs to be done, whether that's letting people live with me, whether that is donating things, whether that is advocating, whether that is getting signed petitions, whether that is traveling to Washington, D.C., whether that is living outside of a hospital for fucking 257 days. I walk my talk. That's it. I do. Right. So now if you don't walk your talk, then that would be something that you need to worry about. Right. Stunting on them. Come on up. If you have a question, you can request and I'm happy to talk about it with you. So this is the thing, folks. If you want to ask me a question, that's perfectly fine. What I ask that you do is that you join the panel so that we can have a conversation about it. If you can't join the panel to have a conversation, I'm not chatting back and forth in the comments. I'm just like, it's just not something I want to do. I think that people who really want to have a conversation about something, should be willing to do that. I don't know where people have been. Where have you been in the last week that you do not know what's happening that is illegal? You all do understand that the Fourth Amendment applies to every person, whether you are a citizen or not. Does everyone understand that? That the Fourth Amendment in the Constitution applies to everyone. Do you all know that? It applies to every single person. Actually, old goats, it does. It sure does. Yep, it sure does. And if you don't understand what that means, it means that everyone is free from illegal search and seizure. Okay. So what that means is if you do not have a warrant, that is signed to a judge by a judge, then ICE does not have the right to come into your home, into your workplace, into your church, into whatever. Alexandria, there is a constitution. So don't say that. There is a constitution and it does apply. That is why a federal judge has put a injunction on the birthright citizenship. Of course, we have a constitution. To say that is to sound just so dramatic that it's just not even real. Of course, we have a constitution. It didn't disappear overnight. Of course, we do. Yeah, I don't need luck. I don't need luck. Right? Good morning, Gina.
Gorgeous lady. How are you today?
I'm good, sweetie. How are you?
Good. Although very saddened because, literal veterans being caught in these ICE sweeps and then them being disbelieved when providing their ID.
Mm-hmm.
Their official retired and veteran ID.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we talked about it on Friday when it happened, and then I talked about it Friday evening again in Newark, New Jersey. Everybody should know about this by this point in time, right? Everybody should know that that ICE raided a business in Newark, New Jersey on Thursday afternoon. They rounded up some folks. One of the folks where they rounded them up was absolutely a veteran, and he was detained along with other people. And when he provided his military paperwork to show he's a retired veteran, ICE said they didn't believe him, and so he was still detained with everybody else. So yeah, so that happened. And while that bothers me, I will tell you what, Gina, all of it bothers me because
bothering me too. The Native American Indians that they're trying to deport.
Yeah. The fact when the GOP cites in their cases that Native Americans aren't citizens, everyone should be going, what in the absolute fuck are y'all talking about? Like, seriously speaking, right? So that happened on Friday, right? So.
And some of these, I've been on many TikToks where they're talking about us as, federal employees and that we're lazy and don't do our jobs and that they're going to cull the rest of us out. I had somebody that was like, well, they hired 162 many. I guess they need to get rid of y'all.
Yeah, no, that's not the way it works.
Get rid of me doing my job, Miss Dani? I don't think think you do.
Nope.
You know what I do.
Yep, I do know what you do. Yeah. I do know what you do. And so, yeah, I had someone try to tell me today, well, Trump loves veterans. And I was like, fuck you. He does not. He does not. They're literally doing things right now that harm veterans. So, it's just not accurate. And the thing about it is I'm just not going to argue with foolishness. For people who don't, for someone to tell me that the Fourth Amendment doesn't apply to everyone in this country tells me that you are woefully ignorant. It tells me you have not bothered to look it up. Tells me you have not bothered to read anything in terms of legal court cases or anything else. Like, it's just that it is what it is, right? And so I just don't have time for willful ignorance. What's up, Big C? So if people want to have a conversation with me, I'm down to do that, right? But I'm going to have a fact-based conversation every single time. And I'm not going to argue with ignorance. You either want to know facts or you don't. And if you don't want to know them, then for my sake and your sake, shut the fuck up and go to somebody else's live, right? Because there are plenty of people who will argue about nonsense. There are plenty of people right now that are still discussing the election. That's just stupid. Why? Why are we still discussing the election? The election is over and done with, right? We are in a different place and a different time now, and there are other things that need our attention, period.
And another thing that gets me too is people don't realize all of these remote and telework folks like myself, they want to bring back to the office and there's literally no space to.
Yeah.
It literally takes years, not months, years to get stuff figured out, to put people and get a new building rented.
Yeah.
Years.
100%. Yeah. I don't think that people don't know how the government works in terms of what it takes to be able to get budgets together, what it takes to be able to looking for the right building and the right space and the right time and get the government contracts and the funding approved and all the things that go along with it. It just doesn't move the way that it is intended to move. And I said this before, what I really believe is that the idea is to do as much as possible in as short as time as possible, to confuse as much as possible, so that it is difficult to keep track of exactly everything that has happened and what we need to be focused on first, right? If you can just overwhelm people with a bunch of things, then it's hard to know what you need to be working on first and foremost. And so that's kind of where we are at this moment.
And another funny thing, so like we had a meeting on Friday with our medical center director online. There were people in the chat that work at the VA. They were like, well, we've got the building on Vantage. They don't know that, number one, the internet is crap over on Vantage, which is my official office. And literally there's only 45 desks.
Right. Right.
Where are you putting everybody? Are we sitting on laps? What we doing?
Yeah. Folks, if you want to know what FEMA gave North Carolina, I put links on it in my link tree back when the hurricane happened. Or you can literally Google FEMA North Carolina and see absolutely everything that's been given to North Carolinians since the hurricane. It's not hard to find a list of everything that has been given to the folks in North Carolina. Like, it's literally just not something. Listen, if you're going into lives, whether it's on Facebook, yes, T, you can tell them 100%. So T, that's what happened on Friday night. A guy popped into my live because when Trump went to Western North Carolina on Friday, he got some people from back in the country who were trying to say that FEMA hadn't done anything for them. And so this guy jumps on my live and is trying to tell me these types of things. And I said, it's not accurate. I literally know people who are there. I know exactly what's been done. And he wanted to argue with me. And that conversation ended up going a whole lot of places. But the reality is when people say to me, well, the Biden-Harris administration, FEMA didn't do anything for North Carolina, it's just not true. It's just simply not accurate. It's not true. And the thing about it, the thing that bothers me is that you can literally find all of this information out for yourself. And you could have found it out when it happened, when the hurricane happened, which has been how many months ago now? Right?
Months.
Yeah. I mean, it was before the election. You guys, I need for everybody to kind of get this point for me to make right here. The hurricane was before the election, remember? Because everybody was worried about whether or not there were going to be enough voting places, and where people are going to get transportation and all those different things. Guys, for Donald Trump to be talking about that right now is just not authentic. It's disingenuous. It's not the problem. It's disingenuous. I have a problem with military planes being used to deport people. I have a problem with ICE going into schools. I have a problem with ICE going into workplaces without warrants for specific people signed by a judge, because all of that violates the Constitution. Period. Right? And for all this talk about how much we love Christians, y'all are literally bashing a bishop who simply asked the president of the United States to behave like Jesus would. Like, that's it. That's it. That's all she did.
I mean, so many of them think he's their personal Jesus anyway. But,
Well, I'm just gonna say it as clear as I can be. If you are defending Donald Trump right now, if you are supporting Donald Trump, I'm just going to say it, and I'm going to be very clear about it. Okay. I'm going to be judging your fruits and your actions because I don't know you. What I would say is that your fruit is not godly. Your fruit is not Christ-like. Your fruit does not speak of Jesus. That's what I will say 100%. Now, if you would like to discuss that with me, if you think I'm wrong about that, then I'm free to have a conversation. All day long, we can have a conversation about that. But what I am not going to let you do is sit up here and say, well, I'm a Christian. No, you're not. You might be, you are a Christian by American standards. You are Christian by the Christian religion's ideology. You are not Christian in terms of Jesus. What's up, Will Need? Because Christianity was not a thing in the Bible. Christianity, let me just be clear, y'all. I'm just saying it is. And here's what I'm going to say. If you would like to join me, whether you are on YouTube, on Facebook, or on TikTok, if you would like to be a guest and you would like to join, then please be my guest. Right. By definition only. Yes. So for the person who said listening to the judging, you are listening to the discernment. You are listening into the discernment where I'm supposed to judge you by your fruit. Yeah, that's what you were listening to, 100%. I'm not judging your salvation. I'm judging your fruit. And there's a difference between those two things. Yeah. I want to be very, very clear. I am 100% judging you by your fruit. I'm not judging your salvation because I cannot do that. What I am doing is judging your fruit. And if your fruit supports hatred, if your fruit supports condemnation, if your fruit supports terrorizing children, if your fruit supports all the things that is being done right now by the administration, then yeah, I am going to judge your fruit because that's what the Bible says. It says, I will know you by your fruit. I'm supposed to have the discernment to be able to say, ooh, what is that? 100%. Sure am. Correct. And so what is taking place right now violates the 4th Amendment to the Constitution, which makes it illegal. You're correct, Surf's Up. Yeah. And again, I'm just going to ahead and let you know. It is what it is. So you don't have to like what I'm saying. And if you're offended by what I'm saying, or if you're trying to make me seem like, oh, well, you're judging and only God can judge. Okay, your ass ain't Tupac. And this is not a rap. This is not a rap song. Okay. I am not judging you. I'm judging your fruit. And for some of you, your fruit is rotten. Your fruit is rotten. It reeks.
And when one rotten thing falls into a barrel of other things that aren't necessarily rotten, what happens, Miss Dani?
Yeah.
Doesn't it rot the rest of
it? It does. 100%. So again, if you feel some kind of way about what I'm saying, that, my friends, is known as conviction. That, my friends, is what's known as conviction. Yeah, you might want to listen. That's your inner gut trying to tell you where you're wrong. That's what that is. In case you haven't met conviction in a while, let me reintroduce you. So, and if you disagree, you are more than welcome to come and join the panel. Be my guest. join the panel. I'm happy to have a conversation. Listen, I can talk Bible verses with you. I can talk Jesus with you. I can talk politics with you, policy with you. I can talk candidate with you. I can do all of those things. So get out of the comment box, get out of the chat box, and come on up. I mean, I know it's Monday, but we can still have church if that's what's needed. I know it is Monday, but we can absolutely have church. Just let me know. Yeah, I mean, I'm open today. I just don't have the bandwidth to deal with people who are in denial or who are being disingenuous or who are paid to be here and scroll the comments and troll all of that. Like I just don't. You're either gonna let me say it. Can I say it the way that we would say it back where I'm nuck if you buck. That's what I want you to do right now. Nuck if you buck. That's what I want you to do.
You feeling froggy? Come on into it.
Yeah. That's what I mean. 100%. Because I'm going to talk to you the same way that Jesus talked to the woman at the well. And if you don't know how Jesus talked to the woman at the well, I can remind you. Because Jesus talk, Jesus called her a hoe. He said, ain't you got like 5 husbands? I'm just saying, he sure did. Do y'all not remember that? Sure did. Jesus was a bit of a sass, if y'all didn't know. Y'all tickle me.
Hung around with people like the prostitutes and the folks other people didn't want to be around.
Right. Yeah, like let me tell you something. The fake how can I say it? It just tickles me. This lady on my Facebook yesterday, she said, this lady the other day on my Facebook, she said, no, it wasn't a man. I don't even know anymore. He just said, go to sleep with Sleepy Joe. I said, go to hell with Trump. That's what you can do for me. Yeah, like, oh, so you're nothing but a bot. When you got 1 follower and you're following 7 people, bye. Now you're gone. See, I just get rid of that. Now you're gone. Yeah, they missed that Sunday school lesson, right? Right. He said, Adrian, what did he say? And the man you're living with now and your husband either. That's what he said. Listen, if Jesus was saying that in today's terms, he was like, girl, you a hoe, and you got hoes in every area code. That's what he would have said.
He was telling her she was a Roman stone. So
he did. He did. A 304. That's what he said. See, y'all act like you don't want to know. But it is exactly that. This religiosity has got y'all all kind of twisted and torn up in the wrong ways. Like real talk. When people said, would you give away food? You have no idea what I have given away. You're going to have to talk to somebody else about that. Literally, I need you to go talk to somebody else or Google me before you start asking me what I would give up for people. You should do one of those 2 things. Go talk to somebody else or Google me before you ask me what I'm willing to do for people. That's what you should do with yourself.
I would
Hey,
help
Barb.
my daughter get a Christmas present because she's 16 and well, she already knows that I'm, But I made sure my little next door neighbor who has a 5-year-old and didn't have money to get him anything. Mm-hmm. Guess what I did? I made sure that baby had a Christmas.
Yeah.
At the expense of mine.
Listen, Ron's laughing at me. Hi, Ron. Yeah, so this is the thing that people don't understand. It would be different if I sat here and all I did was talk on social media and then take my ass back to, I don't know, my 5,000 square foot house and whatever. Dude, listen, I live like everybody else lives in a little 1-bedroom apartment with my grandbabies 3/4 of the time, if not more than that, right? Doing what I do and do a whole lot of other things, right? So, this is the right. Adrian's listing them. Homeless people, Standing Rock, Ballot Health. Yeah. Like,
now, I also get on here every day and I help veterans file for the disability.
Yep.
And navigate through veterans health care.
Yep.
That's just horrible of me. No, I don't know.
Yeah. It just gets me when people just, because they have no idea. Right, Jeff.
It doesn't take money to take care of people and help people.
Listen, here's my thing. While people are talking all this shit, what I want to know is, tell me where are all of the Elon Musk cancer centers? Where are all the Elon Musk's, children research foundations? Where's the Elon Musk whole St. Jude's wing? Where's that? Tell me where it is. This is what I want to know. Share with me, where is the philanthropy? You can't, because there is none. Y'all got two men with about 11 children by about 20 women talking about traditional families.
By the way, it's egg for babies.
But it tickles me. I mean, literally, y'all.
All but one of Trump's children was egg babies.
Yeah, listen, y'all got 11. They got 11 children by 20, 40 women talking about traditional families. They cut out funds for all medical research, not just cancer, Dana. Yeah, he did have a charity where they stole money from children with cancer. 100%. 100%, right? And I just need for y'all to be clear. Yeah, 5011. That's how many, Billo. We all know how many 5011 is, don't we? And we said, damn, she got 5011 kids. Yeah, that's how many they have. 5011 kids. That's how many. Right? Oh, but he doesn't call that child. He dead names that child, T. Right? Real talk. What's up, Lulu Bell? I don't know, Wilney, what they want from me. I don't, here's what matters. But the thing is, I don't ever care what people want from me. So somebody on YouTube says, you served your country. What do people want from you? And the thing about it is I don't even care. Because it for me, whatever I do because it is what I am guided to do. And I don't do it because somebody else thinks I should or shouldn't. Do y'all know how many of my friends said, girl, do not move your ass back home to Tennessee? Do you know how many people said, leave them people alone, let them get what they get? They voted for it, let them have it. Because y'all did. Y'all voted for Rusty Crowe. You voted for Gary Hicks. You voted for John Crawford. You voted for John Lundberg. You voted for Matthew and Timothy Hill. You voted for Micah Van Hoss. You voted for all of them. And you re-voted for them again after you found out they gave you a medical monopoly, right? Voted for their asses again. Rusty Crowe is sitting in office right now in Northeast Tennessee. And what's happened to your hospitals? You voted for him again. What is that? I don't even understand. And then you will be mad. You will be mad if somebody says you vote against your own best interest. But you literally know the man ain't about shit. He sponsored legislation for the healthcare company that he worked for that literally said, it's the craziest thing. Right? Texas and Tennessee are number 1 and number 2 for rural hospital closures, Thriller Mistress. Texas and Tennessee are number 1 and number 2 for rural hospital closures. 100%. Which, by the way, do I have any folks that are watching from Michigan right now? Anybody from Michigan watching? I got Michiganders in here. Do I have any Michigan? I usually have Michigan folk in here. Do I have any Michigan folk in here? Do me a favor, guys. When I bring you up, will you put yourself on mute until I get to you for me? Oh, I don't know what I clicked that time. I clicked something. Sorry. All right. Okay. So I know I have some Michigan folk in here, but anyway, Michigan folks, I will be in Michigan in March. I will be finding all the dates and stuff. It'll be at the rural Michigan Rural Caucus. I spoke there and led a couple of breakout sessions there last March. I've been invited back this year. So I will be there. I will be in Michigan, and it's the Michigan Rural Caucus. Okay, so that's where I will be there in March. Come over here. What are you doing, sissy? So yeah, I'll let y'all know more information when I have it. What's up, Aline? Aline, you wanted to say something? Aline.
Yep. Yeah, here we go. I got it.
Good.
So I asked the security guard in this. I work at a hospital. I asked the security guard and the supervisor what would we do if ICE came in to the hospital, and they just stared at me blankly. And then I was told later that they just said, "What the F," as they walked away from me. So I'm planning on writing my CEO today because we're close to the raids. How do they still need a search warrant to come into the hospital? Is it?
They're supposed to have one, 100%. They're supposed to have a search warrant. Yes, they are, and that search warrant is supposed to be signed by a judge.
Okay, so when I write my CEO, your words are wonderful all the time. And I'm so dang angry after this week. I can't. I've got to calm down to write it.
Yeah.
But I do want her to acknowledge it and like put something into place.
Yeah. So I mean, my question would be, you know, that the hospital number one is a private company, right? And so the same way that the private corporation would react to, you know, just about anything else, right, is that it would require a warrant with a specific individual's name. That warrant has to be signed by a judge, and that goes along with the fourth Amendment to the Constitution, right? So, yeah. So I would be asking, you know, has security been trained to ask for the warrant, to ensure that the warrant has a name, to ensure that the warrant is signed by a judge? Has security been trained? What measures? What is the procedure if ICE were to come to the hospital looking to identify, you know, undocumented immigrants or whatever? And so, and you can go in the link tree. Yep. Do you need to? You want to go ahead and go?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. And I'll get you your stickers.
No, I healed.
Oh.
Turn the light off.
Oh, you're scared? Okay, let me turn the light on. Hold on one second. Come on, Suge. I got you. I got you, girl. Okay, here. All right, you're good. You got it? Yeah, girl.
Mommy.
What?
Mommy.
Okay. What do you need? Okay. Yep. Okay, hold on one second. I will help you.
What, that means?
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, are you down with that?
No.
Because I need to. Y'all go ahead and talk. I'm coming.
Hey, Elaine. Hey, this is Antoine.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm a healthcare professional. Been in the hospital 31. I've been hospital and pre-hospital medicine for 31 years. I'm a retired firefighter paramedic. So the first thing that has to be considered whenever any law enforcement officer comes in for a patient that, you know, let's step outside the realm immigration and just regular U.S. citizen that a patient that has potentially committed a crime. Nothing happens outside of the realm of care, all right, except they can send an officer and someone to just, let them know that this person has been in trouble, possible crime, and then they will literally, and I'm talking about for serious crimes, they will literally stage an officer with that patient. That's number one. Even in that situation, nothing happens outside of the realm of his or her care or treatment. So before they can't take anybody away from healthcare and treatment at all. I don't care what they're trying to do.
Okay.
So even going into immigration, even if they have someone they want to deport, they can't do that until all medical care and treatment has been cleared by their physicians, surgeons, and the healthcare team. That's for starters. Every healthcare facility has to operate and abide by HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, 1996. So if the hospital immigration laws, most hospitals do not have any policy on this.
Correct.
They don't. This is something. Yeah, you're right. So what you're gonna have is uncharted territory in these situations, and they'll have to literally make acute decisions on the fly. But regardless, if this person is recovering from a GSW, this person is recovering from a heart attack, whoever it is, they are trying to quote deport unquote. Nothing happens outside of the realm of treatment and care, and that even extends to rehab after the fact, or any kind of secondary care. So they may have to write a policy on the spot, and the hospitals can say no, he's not going anywhere because we're treating this patient. So sorry, Dani,
No, you're exactly correct. And the thing about that's why I'm saying that people need to get ahead of it. And the reason why many hospitals do not have policies around this is because before this did not used to happen. So when Trump signed the executive order that said they could now go into hospitals and churches and schools and what we would normally consider to be sensitive places, that changed the game. Okay. So now we are seeing situations where we would not have seen previously, because of the change that Donald Trump made last week. Right. So so
it astounds me that there's so many people that just don't even know what's happening, and so they all think I'm nuts, and I'm like, they can't. They're going places at night because that's where to get the housekeepers and all that. But then I thought, like, not all the patients are necessarily, and I'll stand in front of my patient's door.
Yeah.
But the security guard says, he goes, yeah, like, I'm not going to let them in. I said, well, okay, that's a problem.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, they don't have to open the door. So this is what I would tell you folks. So this is the thing that we put on, oh my gosh, what was the thing? I got to look at my own damn link tree. I have so much stuff on there now. So in my link tree, folks, there is a Know Your Rights from La Casa de Don Pedro. If you click that link and you go check it out, these are things that everyone needs to know about what your rights are and what your rights are not, if ICE were to come. And so this is what it says. I'm just going to read it. And they have it on their website. They have it in about 7 different languages. But if you want to look at it in English, it says, if ICE comes to your home, do not open the door. ICE cannot enter your home without a search warrant. If the agents say they have a warrant, ask them to pass the warrant to you under the door. Do not open the door. Confirm the name and the address on the warrant to make sure it is a valid warrant with your name or someone who lives at your address. Also, check that the warrant is signed by a judge. An ICE warrant is not the same as a judicial warrant. During home raids, the agents often say they have a judicial warrant when all they have is an ICE warrant. They are not the same things. Document what happened, right? Ask for the ICE agents' names and badge numbers, write down, take pictures of everything that happened during the raid. Okay. If ICE approaches you on the street or a public place, ask, quote, am I free to go, and stay silent. That's the question that you say is, am I free to go? And you stay silent. ICE cannot detain you to question you without a reason. So before giving ICE your name or any information, ask if you are free to go. If they say yes, leave the location. If they say no, tell them you don't want to answer any questions and you need to speak to a lawyer. Do not authorize a search. If ICE attempts to search you or your property, say, I do not consent to this search. Do not run. If you run, this could help ICE have a legal reason to stop you. Remember, prepare yourself and your family in case you are arrested. Memorize your family's and lawyers' phone numbers. Make emergency plans if you have children or medical needs. Keep copies of important documents with someone you trust. Stay silent. Do not answer any of ICE's questions or give them any information. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Do not resist arrest. Even if ICE is detaining you wrongfully, do not resist the arrest. Do not lie or show false documents. If you are a U.S. citizen or have lawful status, show proof. If you do not have immigration documents, tell ICE that you want to remain silent. Avoid showing documentation from your home country. Ask to speak to a lawyer. Do not say anything and do not make any decisions without speaking to a lawyer. Do not sign. The ICE agents could tell you that you need to sign some documents. Do not sign anything until you consult with a lawyer. You can record if safe. If you are not interacting with ICE CBP agents and are safe, feel free to record any interactions with the agents, but please announce that you are making a recording and remain at a reasonable distance from such incidents as to not interfere. Those are the things to know. It is in my link tree.
Okay. I'll look at that before I write her.
Yeah.
Well, then I should be writing like all the hospitals, I think.
I mean, every
they've
hospital
been
should have a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Churches should have a
They've
plan.
been in Milwaukee and they've been around in Chicago so they've been in the area. I
Yeah.
haven't seen them, but 3 a.m. is not a good time to decide what to do.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, it's important for people to know exactly what is or isn't happening. I'm going to tell you now, folks, they are in blue states. Y'all know this, right? This is where they are starting, is in blue territories, right? Portland, Washington State, Illinois, Jersey, right? That is where they are starting. And so because of this new executive order that says they can go into sensitive places, you can expect them in churches, in schools, and hospitals. That's what they're going to try to do. So if you have schools, if you have children, I'm telling you, you might want to be asking, what are the plans at your child's school? Just saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's a real thing. So everyone should know that information. And for people who are going like, well, this is crazy. It is, but like, yeah, I don't know how people don't get that this is where we are.
I don't understand that either, and it's maddening.
Yeah.
They're like, why are you so crabby? I'm like, what, do you guys see what has happened in 5 days? I mean, unreal. So yeah, I need to email her.
Yeah.
Hopefully employed tomorrow.
So what I would say, Lil Azalea, is that's a question for an attorney, and I'm not one. Georgie's mom, I sent you an invitation to come join the panel. Let's talk about my fear mongering and whether or not I'm getting paid and whether or not you're getting paid. Let's do that. I sent you a direct invitation, Georgie's mom. So come see me. Where you at? Are you going to accept the invitation? Yeah, I'm just waiting. No, Georgie's mom has too many followers to be a bot. Yeah. No, I know she's not coming. But I just thought I would give her like, I don't know, 15 seconds of spotlight.
Well, that's the thing, when you tell the people the truth, they can't, it's like they can't grasp it, and then
Mhm.
you're crazy and you're fear mongering.
Right. You know what? I don't. Let me tell y'all something. The entire time that I told people what was coming with ballot health, the entire time that I quoted from them what the FTC said, what the expert that was hired by the Commonwealth of Virginia said, what the expert that was hired by the FTC said, like every time it was she's a pot stirrer. She's a fear monger. Ask folks in Northeast Tennessee and Southwest Virginia if they're fucking scared of their health care now. Because they are. Yeah. So
Well, I feel better knowing that I'm can be grouped with you in some way.
yeah, I mean, I'm just like,
It makes me feel better.
yeah, like I'm we can have at it. We can have an exchange. I don't listen, I'm so used I have been called everything that you I have been called everything but a child of God. And I'm okay with that. Like I am totally okay with that. I really could give a shit less. Especially when the people who say these things only do it from behind their keyboard. Like real talk. Like yeah, I could care less. Real talk. Yeah. So I was getting ready to pull something up and now it has lost my brain. Let me see if I can remember real quick. Um McCoy, was that what you wanted to say, or did you have something else that you wanted to talk about?
No, Danny. Well, when you stepped away, I interjected.
And that was perfectly fine. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. But I was, you know, not to take you off topic or subject, but first of all, I do some lives, and my people have been begging me to come over here and see you. So here I am.
Okay.
And I am so encouraged and love what I'm hearing because I feel like you're doing what I'm doing, building a coalition instead of doing endless entertainment political debates, which may happen from time to time, but you're building a coalition to help educate people. So I so appreciate that.
Yeah, we've been over here doing that for quite a bit.
Yeah, and the other thing is, as I know for me, I'm looking at this thing with TikTok, and people are comfortable with TikTok as it stands, and they back to selling, shaky platforms and doing lives, and that's fine. But the reality is, this app that we're on right now is got another about 60 days. It is banned in the United States, and I want to know from you. I know what I have done, but I want to ask, what have you done proactively in case they don't get the 50% buyer and it goes dark for you and your people?
Yeah.
I've done something, and I just want to get your take on that.
Yeah, so to me it depends on who the 50% buyers are as to whether or not I'm even staying on here once they figure it out. To be honest, I don't know how I feel about it yet. So that's the first part. The second thing is I've set up accounts. Of course, I'm on Clapper. I'm also on YouTube, and I'm still on the Book of Faces, right? And have been. So over there, I have about 30,000 or so followers. TikTok, I think, is right at 45,000. Okay, cool, Eileen. And but one of the things that I did is so like in my link tree, the very first link that is in my link tree, it says Dani's TikTokers, right? And so people have been clicking that link, putting their information in, and they've been giving me their TikTok handle, their first name, their email address. And whether or not they are currently a subscriber or a follower. And that way I can email them. And so like we have a Discord community where quite a bunch of us are already. And then of course I have a podcast that's running. So the podcast will probably start live streaming more as well. So those are all the things that that I'm currently doing and will continue to do. So I think right now, if I look at, hold on, let me see. If I look at the forum right now, oops. There it is. Yes. So I have about 487 people, 488 now. Somebody else just did one. And those are people that have signed up to give me their contact information so that I can speak to them directly. And so that's what we're going to be doing. Our group is still going to stay intact. I think my Discord has, I don't know, 500 or 600 people over there. And so that's the deal, is to get people into the Discord, people onto the email list, and people make sure that they're following me across the board. I saw somebody say Meta. Hell no. Let me just be clear, folks. It's in my link tree. So let me be clear. Facebook, like I said, I've been over there since 2008, since 2009. Anything that Mark Zuckerberg ever wanted to know about me, that motherfucker already know, which means so does everybody else. And there are 30,000 some odd folks over there, right? And so I'm not just going to, I can't, here's the thing. I can't abandon every platform because I don't like the person running it. Because if I do that, who gets out accurate information? Who gets out the facts if people who give facts leave the platforms? Right? Who does that? If you leave the platform, how do people get facts? If I abandon them and I leave them to all the other folks that are there, right? It doesn't, that can't happen. It's the same thing if everybody turns around, if everyone boycotts all the places where they're getting rid of DEI, guess what happens? The black folks that are there, the minority people that have products there, are going to be told that their products are underperforming, and now they have a legal reason and a legal right to take those black people out of their businesses. So you understand, nobody says you got to go into Target and buy everything there, but you can go to Target and support the people who own and who have the products that you want to support. I'm going to just keep it real direct with y'all right now, okay? When the majority of capitalism is run by white males, right? Period. Then the bottom line is this is what we mean when we talk about things being systemic. Do y'all hear me? When we talk about things being systemic, to be able to have something be systemic is when you have the power and the ability to control an entire system that can elevate one particular group of people while oppressing or suppressing a different group of people. And that is what we are talking about. You got it? So this is what we talk about when we talk about the financial industry. This is what we talk about when we talk about, major chains. This is what we talk about when we talk about the daggone legislature, right? Hey, Eloise, this is what we talk about. So the bottom line is it's very, very simple. Okay. You have to become, and this is where you have to, we're going to find out whether you really care or whether you just want to run your mouth and complain, because people that care will take the time to learn about who has what products where, and you will shop at those places. The same thing when people talk about boycotting Amazon. Do you have any idea how many small businesses only have their doors open because of Amazon? Because they don't have the ability to house all their product. They don't have the ability to do those things. Like, this is what, seriously. So that's okay. So somebody said ditch Prime and go to what? Mel Gray. When you say ditch Prime and go to what? Because what does that do? Exactly. If I ditch Prime, which is only like $200 a year, it's $200 a year if I ditch Prime, right? And then do what? Because mainstream media is just as bad. So cable news, you want me to go back to cable news? That to me is a bigger problem than Prime. Because at Prime, I don't have to watch news. On Prime, I don't have to watch commercials if I don't want to. I don't have to play the game that I have to play if I go to cable news. I'm just saying. Right. You can look for the small business symbol on Amazon to see who you're buying things from, to make sure you are supporting small businesses. You can look to see if the businesses are minority owned or woman owned, black owned, whatever they are. You can do all of those things. 100%.
Hey, Dani.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you're saying, because both my wife and I, we went down the path of, the boycott path. And what we found is you're probably better off doing what we call spot shopping. And pretty much what you're saying, for instance, we do RV living. So, if we can do without Walmart, we do. However,
Mila,
you need to get your RV stuff from an RV store.
come out, please.
Or Walmart. And now we just limit Walmart.
Yeah, don't play in the water, sissy. Girl, your whole sweatshirt is wet.
Yeah, we limit Walmart shopping to things where we can't get anywhere else. So, for instance, your RV supplies and what have you, and then I'm out. So we do spot shopping, and that way, even though we can't boycott it, the RV stores close. But we limit what we get from different places, and they still feel the hit in some kind of way. And if everybody's doing something like that, they still feel it. It still takes away from their bottom line.
Yeah. What? Let me get her a different shirt. She was playing in the water. When you're 3 and you wash your hands becomes a whole adventure. So we're having an adventure, but let me change her shirt. Come on, sissy. Girl. I could wring your shirt out, Mila. It is so wet. Raise your arms. I'm glad you think it's funny. Come on. Well, hold on. Pull your arm out. It's got your face in it. Hold on. Okay, now come on. Come here. Girl. You are silly. Here. Hey. Here. Come on. Mila. All right. So for those of you guys who do not know, that is one of my grandbabies. So here, sissy. We do the work of the village around here, which means when my daughter is at work, I help her out with her kiddos. There you go, baby.
Dani, so you do like real life living with grandkids and all these lives. What kind of concept is that? What is that?
I know. Imagine that, right? Imagine that. Yeah, no, real life. Everybody around here, listen. Watch the comments. Hey, so my Danikins, my followers. Who are my grandbabies? How many do I have? What's their names?
What you like?
Okay, you gotta hold on though. See, I have 3. Dominic, Bella, and Mila. See, they know. See them all naming their names? Thank you. All right. Hey, listen. You got to get down. Get down and we'll make some cookies in a little bit. Okay?
Ooh. I have cookies?
Yeah, you're going to have some cookies.
I got one more thing before I get out and let you get it to talk to someone else.
Sure.
So have you
No cookies here.
talked about or heard about electiontruthalliance.com?
Mm-mm. No.
So yeah, whenever you get a chance, they are doing a official count. They're actually still counting in Georgia, believe it or not. Election Truth Alliance, and they're putting out the numbers on the election. as they go state by state. So they still have to do like North Carolina, Pennsylvania, some other places. And this is basically a audit of what just happened. So, just whenever you can, check that out if you want to share that with your people. It's something that was brought to me by some of the folks that attend my live's election. I think somebody just put it in the comments.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them, so I'll take a look to see what I think. I don't see any. They're a nonprofit corporation, which that. Well, hold on a second. So I don't know what they mean when they say county analysis for non-swing states. See, I don't know what they mean, because it's not like they don't have the power or the ability to recount any votes. So so when they talk about analysis, what I would want to know is what type of analysis do they think that, because besides already looking at the data that the counties have submitted, I don't know what other access they would have to be able to do anything different than what's already been done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what part of what they're doing is, so for instance, bullet ballots increase in the swing states up to about 5 to 10%. And I live in North Carolina, and we're one of the highest on the increase in bullet ballots. And usually bullet ballots are less than 1%. And for them to go up in 5 to 10% in all of the swing states. And for those that don't know, bullet ballots are where someone just checked the president and the vice president and turn the ballot in and walk out the door.
Yeah.
That went up 10% in North Carolina. And so what they're doing is, that's not something you see in the normal counting. So they go through not just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They go through the different types of ballots that have been submitted. And as they get those numbers, they break them down. For instance, if they'll go through something, and we talked about this last night on my live. They go through like how many mailed in ballots were turned in for Trump versus Harris, and so they'll be like, they'll say so many for Trump, 60,000 in one place, and then for Harris it was like 4,000. And so they go through things like that. So they break down the raw numbers into further detail.
Yeah, but so here's what I will tell you is, so you can actually see. Let me see. Which state was I in? Because I've already done rural counties, the top rural counties for all 15 battleground or swing states.
And you're in Tennessee, you say, right?
No, that's where I'm from. I don't tell people where I'm at currently, because people be nosy as fuck. That's why. But so depending upon, let me just say this. Depending upon what state you're in, not every state's website actually will tell you whether or not it was so most websites will only tell you if it is whether it was a straight party ticket or whether it was different. And then the only thing that you can do after that is you can tally up all of them, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they were solely bullet ballots. Like, I would love to know how they determine how many bullet ballots there were, because even if you take all the numbers that were there, and even if they're off, there's no way to really know. So I guess I'm trying to see what's the purpose, because they're all there already. You know what I mean? Like, all the data is there, and I guess I don't really know what the purpose of the data analysis is.
No, I understand, and I think it's, in just my opinion, it's more of a we believe there's something, so let's do a further analysis to see. Like you said, what will the outcome be? Hard to tell.
Yeah, but my thing is, I don't know what they think they're going to find if they don't have access to the actual voting systems. Like, I don't know what an independent person, independent organization that doesn't have access to what the voting, what the election commissions would have access to, what they would be able to determine. They're not going to be able to analyze machines. They're not going to be able to analyze, how things were processed or counted or any of that. All they're going to be looking at is raw data numbers, right? And so, like, when I'm on their site, they've done one county. I can tell you, I have done, let me see, I have done in Michigan, I've done 11 counties. In Georgia, 7 counties in Georgia. Pennsylvania, 5, Arizona, 7, Nevada, 3, Colorado, 7, Virginia, 3, 6, 8, Iowa, 3, 6, 6, Ohio, 6, yeah, baby, North Carolina, 8, what? Again? Okay, I'm coming to help you. Texas is 4, New York, 3, 6, 9 in New York, Alaska, 4 different election districts, Montana, 7 counties, Florida, 5 counties, South Carolina, 6, 9 counties, and Wisconsin, 8 counties. So I've done all of those states and those numbers of counties specifically because of a project that I did in 2023 for 2024, which was the top 100 rural counties across the country. And so I went back and started and redid those exact same counties to compare what their numbers look like in 2023 versus what they look like today. And so here's my thing. Yeah, appreciate you guys. So the thing that this is just me. I don't believe, no matter what you believe, whether you believe that the election was stellar or whether you believe that it was less than stellar, right? To be TikTok friendly in my verbiage. No matter what you believe about it, nothing is going to change the result. The result is the result. We have already had a peaceful transition of power. That's not changing. And I think the more we come to terms with that, and we start to put our efforts into how to minimize whatever negative outcomes can come from the new administration, and then figuring out how do we take the information and then work it for the special elections that are coming, and for the future elections, for the midterms. That to me is the most essential thing, right? So those are the things that I would say. I don't know that talking about the data anymore is going to be helpful, other than I'll tell you the biggest thing that I saw that I would be paying attention to. Come here, Mimi. The biggest thing in the numbers that I saw was people that voted third party, or didn't vote for president at all. Those protest votes, those third party votes, those numbers more than doubled and tripled in a lot of different places. And that is where we need to be focusing on, is how did we not turn people out to a degree that was winnable? That's what it needs to be. So MSM is mainstream media. So that's just kind of what I think. The third party votes and everything that I saw is what really, really caused the problem.
Do you agree that, Dani, do you agree that the progressive, whether it's Democrat, progressive, independents that lean progressive, what have you, that they need to step up and be more marketable, aggressive, and I don't want to say political line and all that like MAGA, but more aggressive and less intellectual in order to achieve what you just said. And I agree with what you're saying about the election and counting. I think it's more for the future that we do that counting stuff, not so much to change the outcome.
Yeah, you said, do they need to be more aggressive in what?
In politicking. because it's, I think, now that the game is over, less lack of a better term, what we find ourselves is a lot of people feel like the Democratic Party is not the progressive party. First of all, you have the young blood and the old dogs and the young bloods coming in, and there's probably some schism there. And then the young ones like a Jasmine Crockett or AOC, who people see that are making waves and saying things that could work, that it's not allowed to come to the forefront, and it's kind of choking the political process on the progressive side. And people are attracted to the other side because they do have that, as bombastic and crazy as it may seem at times.
So a couple of things. What I think is that the Democratic Party is losing the media game. I think that the majority of mainstream news outlets are owned by Republican Party right-leaning individuals. That's like a fact. That's not like just my opinion. The majority of our mainstream news outlets are owned by Republican corporations. That would be number one. Number two, there are 15 to 20 right-wing podcasts versus anything that's on the Democratic side. And I'm going to give you an example. If I were to begin to name right-wing podcasts, we can name them. Let's do Joe Rogan. Let's do Charlie Kirk. Let's do Nick Fuentes. Let's do Ben Shapiro. Let's do Candace Owens. Let's do Tucker Carlson. You see what I'm saying? Do you see how many I can name?
Yep.
Right? Just like that. Now, name left-wing podcasters on that level, on a national level. Name left-wing voices. Name progressive voices that are national and known on both sides of the aisle.
I can name two, and both of them are in the grave now: Bob Becker and Combs, and they're gone. And,
okay, so
they're gone.
Okay, so Rachel Maddow is not a podcaster. She is MSNBC. So you all think that Roland Martin is known by Republicans the way that Joe Rogan is known?
They don't pay Roland Martin no attention. I like him, and I think he's good, but they don't pay him no attention, Danny. Not that side.
I'm just going to tell you right now. I could ask 30 white people that I know. They're not going to know who the fuck Roland Martin is. Don Lemon, to me, Don Lemon is still mainstream. He's still CNN. He might have his own thing, but he's still CNN. I like Brian Tyler Cohen. Tell me if your average MAGA knows who Brian Tyler Cohen is. And ask, does your regular Republican, does your regular MAGA know who Midas Such is?
And then Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo, although they're doing that, like you said, they by default are doing that because they were mainstream. So it's not like the rest of these guys who've been doing it for years and years and years and years and years, or at least more than just because they were fired from a TV network show, they reverted to that.
Yeah, so this is my point, right? Is so when I talk about, they financially support Republican podcasts. So here's where the Democratic Party is losing it. The Democratic Party spent a shit ton of money on celebrities instead of middle ground. So I'm going to tell you what we know. Here's what we know. We know that people do not trust mainstream media anymore, and people do not trust celebrities. If someone is too rich, people don't trust them. So you invest in people that started out middle ground, like a Nick Fuentes, like a Charlie Kirk, like a Candace Owens. When Donald Trump sunk his claws into Candace Owens, she was a Black girl who was up and coming with a little website called, I think it was 360 Media or something like that. And her website trashed Donald Trump, trashed him. She had a couple of writers. They wrote some blogs on it, and she was starting to get some traction. And so when she was starting to get her traction, the Republican Party came, wrote her ass a fat check, and she switched teams. And that's what happened with Candace Owens, period. Okay. The reality is that the Republican Party puts their money where their mouth is, so to speak. Oh yeah. You didn't know that? 100%. 100%. Candace Owens will tell you she's never experienced racism. You should ask Candace Owens, why did the NAACP win her $37,500 when she was 18 years old? Because she experienced racism at the hands of 5 white boys in her high school, whose daddy was like, I don't know, one of their daddies was like the superintendent or the mayor or somebody else. So yeah, Candace Owens has experienced racism. She got paid a check because of that. The NAACP won her that money. So while she tells everybody that, it ain't true. So that would be number one. There is not enough. So for all the work, let me tell you something. If Joe Biden's campaign had spent, I don't know, if Kamala Harris's campaign, if they had spent half as much as they spent on her campaign, even a third of that money, actually pushing out all the information that Joe Biden did, if they pushed out exactly what those infrastructure acts were and what the CHIPS Act was and what it did, and if they act, because if it had been me, if I had been running it, what I would have done is real simple. I would have taken that invest.org page that they had, where they outlined exactly how much each state was going to get from those acts and what it was going to be built for, and which companies were creating jobs as a result. I would have taken that invest.gov. I would have had that shit on podcast. I would have had it on regional and statewide TV ads, radio ads. I would have been on different podcasts and TV shows talking about it all the time. And I would have taken myself and I would have been on Joe Rogan talking about it. I would have been everywhere talking about what Joe Biden's work actually did. Because if people knew what they did and how much money it generated for Republican states and just how good it was for people, this election would have been a no-brainer. I don't care how old or sleepy Joe was. But they didn't talk about it. They spent more time talking about Donald Trump. Therefore, everybody focused on Donald Trump. Listen, if the Republicans are talking about Donald Trump and the Democrats are talking about Donald Trump, who the fuck is talking about Democrats?
Nobody.
Right.
And what's the saying? Bad publicity, good publicity is all publicity.
Yeah. Listen, Donald Trump learned that a long time ago. That's why he does something every day to stay in the news cycle. He's not dumb. It doesn't matter what they're saying as long as they are saying your name. It does not matter what they're saying as long as they are saying your name. And he's learned it all day long. And what's shameful is nobody else has learned it all day long. Now, when you talk about two different things, give me 1 second. Let me help her. Come here, child. How do you do? Come here. Let me get this for you. Real quick. Okay, here. Yeah, here. Here. Don't play. Hey, stop. If you want your we will be in trouble and go to mommy's house.
Yep. I love it, Papa.
Mm-hmm.
You can walk Papa house.
Okay, well, you can call Papa.
I think in my bowl.
Okay, well, where did you put it?
In you?
In the room?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, jump up there and see if you find it. I don't see where you put it in there. Look and see if you put it under the blanket, sissy. So that would be number one. Okay, I'll help you. You can use hers for now. Ain't this yours? Hey, ain't this yours?
Yes.
Okay, go plug it up before it dies. Okay, so that would be number one. Okay, if it had been me. So like even right now, I would still be tooting that horn. Okay, you can do that, but you have to plug it up or it's gonna die.
You.
And you're not gonna be able, girl, don't tell me.
You put it.
Here,
You put it.
there.
I can see Papa.
Yep, there.
I can see Papa.
Right there. Okay, so other things that that I think need to happen from the Democratic side is the old Democratic playbook of go to every Baptist church, show up with every Baptist civil rights leader is played out. Nobody cares anymore. The church as we know it is on the decline. People are leaving church in droves, right? For a variety of reasons, right? So you are not going to reach young Black voters in churches. You're not going to reach young spiritual voters in churches anymore. So the idea is the days of Martin Luther King Jr. and Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, and that's the way that you reach minority voters, those days are gone. Okay, those days are gone. So, this whole all of that needs to be revised. It is fine, and in case people haven't noticed, Christianity has been taken over by the Republican Party. Let me just be clear: Christianity has been taken over by the Republican Party, and the more that it becomes entrenched the more that it becomes entrenched in the Republican Party, the more that it becomes entrenched in politics, the more of a turnoff it is for progressive voters. You're not going to find them there in those spaces. Okay. So again, if it were me, I would be looking. Let me tell you what I believe the messaging kind of seemed like. Okay. The messaging kind of seemed like, if the way to win Black votes was entertainers and celebrities, which is insulting, to be quite frank. Right? It's insulting, to be quite frank. And so I really think that those, and let me just say all of this. Kamala Harris had 107 days. I hear you. But if I look at her campaign and Joe's campaign all the way across the board, they were two completely different campaigns, and it was not a cohesive machine. They did the best they could in the amount of time that they had. I get that. If I'm talking about the Democratic Party as a whole, it's time to switch. This is not the Democratic Party of the 1960s. It's just not. What, baby?
The Papa say yes at your house.
Did he say yes?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then you can tell mommy. Okay.
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 Mommy, hold on me.
Huh?
Mommy, hold me.
Yeah, you can. Get your phone. Okay. You said, what do I think we need for 2028? Do I think Kamala could do it? Okay, 1 second. Okay. I don't know.
Lady, I appreciate it.
Okay, appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right.
All right.
You can drop me.
Okay. So somebody asked me on TikTok, do I think that Kamala Harris could do it in 2028? To be quite frank, I'm not that far. I'm not that far into 2028. I'm still concerned about 2026. Oh, Bill Oda, I disagree. This country is 100% ready for a woman.
Mommy.
And let me tell you something. There are 20, 23, 27 other countries that have women presidents. Yes.
Mommy.
Okay, you got to wait. She's got to call you after because she's at work, okay? You got to wait for her to call you. So 100%, I believe that that the country is ready for a woman. Yeah, Shelly, I do. I don't. So let me just say this. When you say not for a Black woman, again, I disagree. I think that the country has issues around racism and sexism and misogyny, right? That does not mean the country is not ready for it. I believe that they are, but I believe that what they need in order for it to happen is going to be a different framing and a different conversation around it, period. And it will not be, I'm just going to be really, some of y'all going to be mad at me. It will not be Jasmine and it won't be AOC. It won't be either one of those two because they're seen as too divisive, right? That's what they are. They are seen as too divisive, period. So, hey, sit down, please. Shelly, I went ahead and invited you up because you have a lot to say. And so I'd like to just go ahead and have a conversation with you.
I love you.
Do you love me? I love you too. Oh, girl, you almost fell off my lap. Shelly, where you at? Look, you had something sticky on your face. Stop, let me get it. There. Good morning, Bron.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, Shelly. So what were you saying?
I don't think that the country's ready for a Black woman as president.
And why would you say that?
Stop,
please. No.
Because I'm not under the impression
Stop for a second, please.
this country still isn't rooted in a lot of racism
Move
and
on.
misogyny,
Stop.
right? She was one of the most qualified person to run for president.
We'll go sit down and we'll call Papa.
And all you heard about was her nickname, how she got her position in California, that she wasn't really black. Like, I don't know how you think they're ready for a woman, a black woman.
So what you're focused on, what you're focused on is a really strong messaging campaign that came from the Republican Party. That's what they're supposed to do. Like literally, that's what they are supposed to do. And in my opinion, the Democratic Party chose the wrong messaging. When they came out with prosecutor against felon, that was not the right time. That was not the right position to take, because historically speaking, prosecutor is not going to be the position that is going to make Black and brown people feel very warm and fuzzy. Period. It's not a thing. So I think that was not necessarily, and they kept harping on felon. Well, let me tell you something. I know a lot of people that are felons that are phenomenal individuals that are felons, not because they deserve to necessarily to be felons, right? So I think harping on that blue line thing was a mistake, in my opinion. I also think that had we had a year versus 107 days, I don't think for a year they could have continued to talk about how she got where she got in California or whatever. People, it would have gotten old very, very fast. And there would have been time to counterattack those things that were said. They were able to say that because it was literally for 107 days. That's it. So I don't think that indicates whether or not they are ready. I just don't. Now, does the country have a lot of work to do when it comes to racism? Sure. Do I believe that is the majority of the country? I don't. Yeah, I don't. If that was the case, if that was it, then this election wouldn't have been 1.4% difference in votes. She lost by 1.4% and she only ran a campaign for 107 days.
And how many people didn't vote? How many people voted third party? Because
Wait 1 minute, please.
No, fail the doctor.
You had the Palestinians vote against her. You have some ethnicities that are not going to vote for a woman, let alone a black woman. I just don't think,
So here would be my question. Can you tell me the numbers? Like, do you actually know the number of people that voted third party because specifically, I'm asking specifically because of Gaza, the Gaza and Palestinian issue.
I don't know off the top of my head. I've been in so many lives that's shown that. I don't have it on me.
Right.
But you can tell me.
But when you say, yeah, I mean, we know about 1.0% voted third party, but you don't know why they voted third party, right? That would be number one. Number two, voting third party is not that they couldn't vote for a woman or that they couldn't vote for a black woman. Many of those people that voted third party, that was their quote unquote protest vote, and it didn't matter who was running. Jesus himself could have been running, and because the United States of America and Congress was still funding Israel, they were going to vote third party. That had nothing to do with her being black or being a woman. It was literally because we were still funding Israel.
Okay, so then what is what do you think she should have done, or the Democrats should have done in terms of the campaign? Because I didn't think what they did, it was something wrong. I supported her. I went to see her when she came into my city. So I supported her. So it wasn't until after she lost, everybody started saying how awful the campaign was, right? Which Democrats do this all the time. When we lose, we complain. When we lose, we blame the candidate. We blame the fact
that the Democratic Party, they didn't put enough money in this and that. We do that every time.
Yeah, here's what I will say is both parties do it. The difference is the Democrats do it outside their house. That's the difference. The Republican Party does it, but they do it inside their house. So I don't know how old you are, but when I was growing up, my mama used to say whatever happens in our house stays in our house, right? The Democratic Party doesn't do that. And the Republican Party does. Whatever fights they have happen inside their house for the most part. And when they come outside, they have a unified front. Even if they all fucking wrong, they're going to be unified in being wrong. Period. The difference is that the Democratic Party doesn't do that. They point out each other being wrong in an effort to be right themselves in front of everybody else. So that's one of the things that they do. So I don't think that she necessarily needed to do anything different. I think having 170 days to do the campaign that she had to do, that was about all you're going to get. Like, people complained about her giving the same speech. Well, she had no choice. Like, when you only have 100 days to make sure that your main points are heard by people, you have to repeat it over and over and over and over and over again. It's not like she had time to do, town halls and go to all 50 states and all the things because she announced her run 2 years early. I think everybody needs to remember that Donald Trump announced he was running for office 22 months in advance to avoid being prosecuted. That man has been running for office for 22 months. She ran for office for 107 days. And I think that people have forgotten that. So I don't know that there's anything that, quote unquote, she should have done differently. I think there are things that as a whole, the party could have done differently. And there are things that they should have done differently prior to that upcoming election that many people have been talking about for a very, very long time. Part of it is what I just said when it comes to alternative media. We don't have enough of that, right? At all.
We never have.
Right, but that's the point.
We never have.
Right. And they have invested in it.
Yeah, but I remember at one point, and I can't even think of the name of it, when they wanted to start doing progressive radio, and they had a group that did that. That didn't even last. I forgot what was the name of it back then, right? The next person that you knew that was progressive was Stephanie Miller, right?
She's on Sirius XM.
Yeah, I know. But we have never had a huge presence in that media space, because when it comes down to right-wing media, it is full of hate, anger, and fear, and that will always bring people in. Always. We never do that, and we shouldn't do that, right? So I don't quite understand with the whole thing. Put more money in media for what? We're not gonna go and listen to a progressive radio station or any of those things that maybe on YouTube. Just won't do that.
I don't believe that because, and I'll tell you why I don't believe it. I'll tell you.
We've never done it.
I'm not talking about radio. I'm not talking about a radio station. What I'm talking about, all the people that I'm talking about right now, everybody that I named are podcasters. Everybody that I named earlier are all podcasters. And what we are doing right now is just what a podcast is. Coming on TikTok, doing lives like this, that's exactly what a podcast is. It's the same exact thing. And people 100% do podcasts. They 100% do. The difference is that the Republican Party actually finances their folks to do those types of things. They invest in people. The Democratic Party does not. The Democratic Party invests their money in the party only, and in the party on a state and national level. The Democratic Party does a really not a great job of having those funds be dispersed throughout the entire state, right? Rural places don't get funding. Inner cities don't get funding, right? When we talk about party money, right? And so that's the problem, is that the Republican Party, they put their money into all kinds of people and all kinds of platforms. The Democratic Party does not. they still think that if they show up at historically Black churches and they are there when somebody says Amazing Grace, that it's going to work. And it does not work anymore, because that is not where we are. And people are tired of the differences. Is the Democratic Party of the 1960s and 70s were actually out active with the activists. They were out active with the voices. They were out active with the people. The Democratic Party of today is not out with the people that are the voices of their party. They're not in touch in any way, shape, or form with what's happening. And I've only seen them elevate one or two. And I've talked about that before, and I got criticized for it. I don't care that I got criticized for it. What I know is the only voices that I have seen be elevated for the Progressive Party have been white and male. That's it. That's what I've seen. And so, again, if that's what you have, then you are not going to reach the women that you want to reach. You are not going to reach the minorities that you want to reach. You are not going to. And they didn't. I don't think it says anything about who we are as a country in totality and what we are or we aren't ready for. If we weren't ready for it, she wouldn't have come as close as she did, because she came hella close to be a fourth quarter, 3 minutes left on the clock, from the damn 80-yard line on the opposite end of the field, right? She did a hell of a job to start where she started from.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Well, I just, again, you have a different view of it than the way that I see it, which is fine, right? I just don't think, based off of, what happened in this campaign, how people reacted to her, what people said about her, and I just think that this country just isn't ready, even though people want to be hopeful that we are ready for a woman president, or a Black woman president, or a person of color, female, right, as president. I don't think we're anywhere near that.
No, I will tell you now, for me,
I think we have been hopeful.
Nah.
I think it was hopeful.
I think 1.4%.
And then I realized she didn't get it.
Shelly, 1.4%. I really need. So let me just say this. Seriously. She had, because this is why it matters. She had 107 days, and she still only fell short by 1.4%. On top of the racism, the misogyny, on top of all of it, she still almost pulled this shit off in 107 days. That indicates to me we are hella ready for it. Because if not, she would have lost by, like, it was not a landslide. It was not a mandate. It was not some decisive, nah, we don't want you. It wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was by the skin of his chinny chin chin. And so and here's what gets me. It was by the skin of his teeth, with everyone working against her and every media outlet talking about him. Like, that's the thing that gets me. Everybody talking about him.
Right.
I'm just saying. So I just don't. I don't agree that we're not ready. I think that, when I look at the women that we have that are in, when I look at the number of women generals that we have and women admirals that we have, and the women who are ambassadors all around the country, that have been there, we have so many ambassadors around the world that are women. Yeah, how long has it been since we had a woman Secretary of State? It's been forever. You know what I mean? So I don't think that that's what I think is the reason why people feel that way, is because of the rhetoric that a group of people drummed up and got repeated and got elevated and got maximized and got all the damn things, like, literally. That's why I think people feel that way. But what I know is from talking to from talking to, for example, Lev Parnas, when he and I talked about Trump supporters, you have a group of Trump supporters that are absolutely racist and misogynistic, 100%, like Steve Bannon. Okay. And then you have the other group of Trump people that are with Trump simply because they are multi-millionaires and billionaires, right? And then you have another group of people that are with Trump because of Israel. And you got other group of people are with Trump because they are Christian nationalists, right? So you have all these different pockets of people. And they don't all necessarily agree on the same things, but they're with him for that one thing that resonates with them. Which is one of the reasons why one of Elon's old friends was talking about him over the weekend. And they said one of the reasons you saw Elon do the salutes that he did is because he was afraid that that little pocket of Steve Bannon's were going to, and all those followers were going to split him from Donald and the things that he wants to do. So I'm just saying, I do think that I do think that we over as a country are ready. I think the challenge is to cut through the noise, to not prejudge, and to have our messaging be as loud as theirs.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't see it yet. I think the message that they have is much louder, and I don't think we'll ever get to that point. So, especially with what's going on and what Trump and them are planning to do.
So, what are you going to do if you don't think we're ever going to get to that point? Are you leaving the country? What are you doing?
Oh no, I'm not leaving this country.
I'm just asking because, like, for me, if
I'm still going to vote my values. I am a progressive liberal. So I'm going to still vote for those that I believe is going to give this country a better chance. I don't vote for me. I vote for other communities.
Right, but here's my thing. If you're voting for people, let me ask you this though, right? So if you're voting that way, but you've already decided it's not going to make a difference. Well, let me ask, because maybe you don't believe it. Let me ask you this. Do you believe?
I don't believe it's not going to make a difference. I'm saying that this country just isn't ready. Right, but I will still vote for who I believe is going to give everyone a better life, right? Mm-hmm. So again, I'm a progressive liberal, always have been, always will be, right? So, I believe that we will have somebody in office, right, and as president, that will be progressive and liberal. We're not there yet. It's going to take a very long time before that happens. Very long time. We're going to have to either just deal with the normal old Democratic Party, because that's what Joe was, right? We accepted Joe, even though we wanted someone that was more progressive. But we knew he was better than Trump. We knew we weren't going to vote for a criminal. We knew that Trump wasn't about shit and still ain't about shit. Right? So, again, I will support the Democratic Party, but it'll be a very long time before we get a progressive in office. Even Kamala wasn't 100% progressive, but she could be swayed. She could be moved. So, again, I'm frustrated with a bunch of hopeful actions, which ain't doing anything for us.
So let me ask you a question, right? So why vote if it ain't gonna work?
Because it's my duty to vote.
So, but here's my point, right? Because
it's my responsibility to vote.
Right, but let me ask. But here's the thing.
Vote just for me.
But if you negate, here's what I'm saying, Shelly. Hold on a second, because do we agree? Do we agree that our thoughts, our words, as well as our actions all have impact? Do we agree with that?
Yes.
Okay. And do we agree that what I'm saying while I'm doing something also matters?
Yes.
Okay. Because like I can remember, because I've been married, happily not anymore, but I have, right? And Let me tell you something. To me, there's a difference. If my ex-husband showed up on Valentine's Day with a fucking flower from the gas station and a teddy bear from the gas station, right? Because that's his duty. I got the teddy bear and I got the flower from the gas station because that's his duty and it's Valentine's Day. It does not have the same impact. It does not have the same impact as all year long him expressing that I'm valuable or that he loves me and that whatever, and that he gives me a rose on a different day that ain't just on the day it's his duty to do so. And if we go out to eat, or if he takes me to get, you see what I'm saying? So like what I'm saying is the energy in which we do something impacts the result that we get. Just casting the ballot isn't enough if we believe the ballot ain't going to work, if we believe it's not going to, if it's not going to do anything.
Okay, so then you tell me what I'm supposed to do outside of that. So, for example, and I don't know if it's you, Dan, or somebody else that I've listened to, but it was told, hey, what you should do is write your congressman or your senator about this particular nominee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they won't get confirmed. That is a hopeful action because writing them or contacting them has not worked in years.
Mm-hmm.
It has not worked. It hasn't changed anything. I'm in a red state. My senators I'm in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They not finna do anything that I ask, right? Because they are not catering to me. They don't care about what I send to them. They want to stay in power. So this hopeful action of write somebody, call somebody, right? Write something to your local newspaper. That doesn't move the needle. So we're still using these old tactics that still won't work, right? The fact that they even confirmed Pete is a damn disgrace. But if I would have wrote a letter to one of my senators, they wouldn't have given a fuck. Period. So why am I wasting my time on hopeful actions?
Mm-hmm.
So what I've been doing, I've been trying to tell my people, my family, my friends, how to survive the next 4 years. That's what I focus on. I tell them, you know what? Don't spend no money. Save as much as you can because things gonna get hard. Here's a list of our friends and family and what they can do for us whenever we are in a bind. Right? Start learning how to garden. Make sure that you don't spend money on unnecessary things. Right? Sit still. Do not go out when you think there is a chance that something's going to happen. I live in a predominantly white neighborhood. It's only 4 black families in my neighborhood. You think that my son and I aren't afraid of what might fucking happen in the next 4 years in this neighborhood? So that's what I do. I'm doing what I can for my people, right? My family, my friends. And I don't hear anybody else really talking about what you need to do to survive the next 4 years.
Okay, so
it ain't gonna get better.
So, well, let me just say this, okay?
I'm not mad at you, Dani.
No, I know you're not mad at me, Shelly. I know you're not mad at me. Here's the difference, okay?
Right.
So here's the difference. I have conversations with my daughters and the people around me, and I've told people be smart about what you need to do. Here's the difference. Where you are doing those things from, you're doing it from a place of negativity and fear, because it ain't gonna get no. Hold on, let me finish. Hold on, because here's what you said. Wait, Shelly, hold on. Shelly, listen. I'm hearing you, but I want you to hear what you're saying, because this is what you said. Because it ain't gonna get no better, right? Because it's going to get hard, right? And I hear you, right? I hear you. So what I always talk about, guys, I live in a place that's just as fucking red as Texas. I live in a state that is just as fucking red as Texas. I don't talk about where I am, but I know where I am. I know 100% where I'm at. So let me just say, here is the difference. Okay. So I have a little, they have these cute little, Mila, can you hand Tutu the box off the table? Do you see the box for the seeds, Mila? Right there. Yep. Right there, the box in front of the window. Yep. Right there with the plants. Hand that one to Tutu. Good girl. You got it? Good job. So I don't have a yard, right? Because I'm in an apartment. So I can't do a garden. But what we can do is one of these little tin pods. So me and my grandbaby got these set up here. We get ready to open this joker up and do it. We've read good things about this little sucker. So we can grow things, right? We're doing that, right?
What do you do?
We are like all the things. And here's what I'm not going to say. What I'm not going to say is that I'm teaching us how to survive, because I don't just want to survive. I don't ever just want to survive. I have survived enough in my fucking life already, and I deserve to do more than survive. Let me be very clear about that. What, baby? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. All right. So she said, Tutu, you okay? She said, Tutu, you okay? Hold on. Wait, Mila. Here, put it back for me. Put it back. Put this one back. Because we're going to do those. But so wait, let me, hold on. Let me, no, she's good, Shelly. So listen. Help you? It's heavy? Okay, put it right here. You want to go get a cookie off the thing?
Yeah.
Okay, go get it. So the other thing is, it's just the way that I choose to, it's right there in the bag. Yes, you can, because it's right in front of your face. Hold on, y'all. She want to try me today. Here, Mila. Here. I got you. Come on. Okay, so I hear you. I trust me when I say I hear you. So I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. So my son-in-law is Hispanic, right? Mm-hmm. My little brown baby's got a Hispanic last name. I'm in a red ass state. I know exactly all the feelings and the apprehensions that are going on right now, right? And here's the thing, right? I don't want to just survive. I can do more than one thing at one time. So I can 100% take precautions. Here, I'll show you. Look, I bought this little sucker. Me and the damn TikTok shop done got close. So this little thing right here, it's a solar power bank. Super, super awesome. And yeah, like the whole, like, so I'm not oblivious, right? But the thing is, right, is I can do that at the same time. And so for me, I've never said just write a letter. If y'all have ever heard me, I have never said just write a letter. Let me be very clear. Here's what I said. I said, write a letter to your elected official. I said, take that letter, post it on your social media, tag your elected officials and your local and state media in it so they can be held accountable. And then I said, talk to the people in your circle of influence so that they are doing the same thing. Get a local petition going. If you are in a community where you get 100 signatures in a small town, that makes an impression when you send a copy of that petition to your representative, right? It's the power in the numbers. And so it's not just write a damn letter. No, it's follow it up. It's followed up with accountability. It's followed up with embarrassment if necessary. If I got to drag you on social media, then that's what I will do, right? Call into different it's a combination of those things, because what I'm not going to do is sit down and be an ostrich for the next 4 years, bury my head in the sand, and hope there's a fucking country when I raise back up.
Well, so here's the thing. So, yeah, you may have said do those things and those actions, right? But you cannot embarrass a Republican in office today.
I have.
Dani.
I have.
Well, let me say, I can't embarrass Ted Cruz. I can't embarrass him. He is not going to move, right? Because some
Nope, it's not about that. Sweetheart, that's my thing. It's not just about just you. So here's the other thing. So listen to me. I say this all the time.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I don't win every battle I'm in. I don't.
Exactly. Yes,
I don't. And that doesn't mean I don't fight. It doesn't mean I don't fight, because just because I lose a battle doesn't mean I'm not going to win the more. And it may be the lessons that I learn, and it might be the licks they take in that battle that makes them lose further down the road. I cannot not be in the fight, because if I'm not in the fight, I know for sure it ain't going to change.
I'm with you. I'm in a fight. I'm in the fight. I'm attacking differently than you are. That's it.
I know, but here's what and all I'm saying though is I hear your heart.
I am not bowing down. I am not.
I know you're not.
My head is not in the sand, right? I'm doing my fight the way that I think is going to work for those around me, right? So again, your approach is your approach, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just different. You stand 10 toes on your business, and so do I. But sometimes our business may not align. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I just don't see doing some of the things that you have suggested to do have moved a needle. It hasn't moved the needle. So I think as a progressive, as a liberal, we need to come up with another method. And I'm just tired of listening to the same old.
So what's your method?
If you can't face, so I'm just still trying to figure that out. So here's my example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the DEI.
Yep.
Right? Going away, right? So I work in that space, right?
Mm-hmm.
I deal with supplier diversity, etc., right? And I've done that for 25 years for the company that I've worked with,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I know what Tabitha Brown and the other Black owners at Target or Walmart, they want us, right? Their profit is more important. Now, this is my opinion, right?
Okay.
Their profit is more important than our value. You want me to support you at a store that doesn't support me and my community. I will not step foot in a store
Right.
that does that, right? Period. Now, everybody wants to sit up there and say, oh, yeah, they have contracts and so on. The fight against DEI has been going on for years.
Mm-hmm.
It was already known that it was performative after the unaliving of George Floyd.
Yeah.
Right? So why would I give money to Black owners at a store that doesn't even really want them in it?
I think
my fight. So my fight is I will not support any company that does that. I don't like people saying, well, where else can we go? That's people who are complaining because they're about to be inconvenienced. That I stand on business. I always have. Right?
Yeah.
My father taught me, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And there's too many of us falling for anything.
Yeah, so I think that some people will boycott. So I'm gonna just tell you right now, I don't shop at Walmart. I don't shop at, do I shop at Target? Like, it's very rare.
Once a year.
Right. Right. And I'm the same way when it comes to Publix. I don't shop at Publix. For that very reason, right? So like, I think that everybody has to do, I would say the majority of my life is in line with my values, the vast majority. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think that for some people that works. I will tell you this: there are some people who live in places and spaces where they can't do that. They literally don't have no damn choice, right? Depending upon where they live, because I'm from small town USA. So where I'm from, they ain't got no damn choice about where they. Right. So what I think is that see, this is where I think people get it wrong. It's like this idea that everybody has to do everything the same way. I'm fine with your. I think the thing that bothers me that I hear you say, no, it doesn't piss me off. It actually makes me sad. It doesn't make me angry at all. The thing that makes me sad is because I hear you negate where you want to go with your words. And because I do understand that what we say has an impact. What we say has an impact. It carries as much energy as what we do. What we say carries as much energy as we do. And so if I hear you saying it's never going to change, it's going to be a long time, like you are saying very present moment, definitive things that are not what we want to create. Even if it is, even if it turns out to be true, I damn sure don't want to create it.
See, to me, you sound like you're the kind of person who would say, "Don't speak it into existence." Is that?
I say so. What I say is, I don't speak what I don't want to happen. I don't control everything that's going to happen, but I don't speak what I don't want to happen. Because I can't be responsible for what anybody else speaks, but I'm not going to speak what I don't want to happen.
Yeah, but how do you cope with then how do you cope with things? Because to me, I don't think that way, right? Not speaking something into reality, or it's just not a thing for me.
So what I say is I have hope that is rooted in reality. I am very aware of the real shit that we face every day. I am very aware. Like head on a swivel.
Yeah, I know you are.
I got it, right? And what I don't do is because to me, if I start talking the negative, it takes away it takes away the ability to even be in it. Listen, if I don't think things can change or get better, that's a really sad world to live in. And I can't have that. I can't have that world. I can't have that world around me or my babies. I can't have, like, I just cannot. Like it you know what I mean? I'm not going to suck the life out of myself.
But let me say this. I am not a negative person. I don't want you to think that I am. I'm really not. Like, but I'm also one, yeah, just like you see reality. You see what's going to happen. I see what's going to happen as well, right? I just don't think this idea of positivity that is going to carry us through.
I've never said that.
I'm not saying you said that, Dani, right? I just don't necessarily think the positivity view of it is realistic for me. Right? But it just isn't for me, Dani.
Yeah, and that's fine. But here's what I'm saying. I'm not positivity though. Positivity says, here's the difference. Positivity says everything's gonna be great. Everything is great when shit is blowing up all around you. That is not me. That is not me. I can see what's happening all around me. What I don't know is what is going to happen. Now, what I can see is what are the likelihoods of things that can possibly happen, right? So what I can do is I can say, all right, so these are the things that are happening and these are the potential outcomes. And I can prepare accordingly, right? But I'm not going to say that out of all the things that are there, I'm going to go with the worst case scenario and I'm going to say that that's the thing that's going to happen because I don't know what's going to happen. I can see what the potential outcomes are. I can see the possibilities of the negative things. I can see all of those different things, but it doesn't mean I'm going to say that they are definitively going to take place because I do not know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare in small ways in that make sense, right? I'm going to stay rooted in hope because it is hope. It is not love. I don't care what nobody tells y'all. Love is fickle as fuck. It is not love that beats fear. It is always hope. It is never love. It is hope. And so for me, because if we don't have hope, we might as well just pack it on up now and go on home to meet Jesus. If you don't have hope, period. But I can have hope and be a realist. What I find is people that don't want to have hope are scared to be disappointed. And that is when it's hard, because if you can have hope, hear me, because I can feel, and you may say, Danny, you're so full of shit, but I can feel so much hurt coming from you. I can feel like so much hurt coming from you, Shelly. I can,
I'm not.
I'm just,
I know. I hear what you. I'm not though, right? I'm just
okay.
not.
Listen, hurt comes off as tough. Hold on, girl. But let me finish. Hurt comes off as tough. I know I used to walk around just like that all the time. I mean, I'm telling you, I used to walk around just like that all the time. But here's the thing, girl, hush, you are so loud. Okay, but here's the thing. This little girl, she be our like tension breaker. But here's the thing, okay? This is why I say I have to be, not attached to the outcome, because here's what I know. When the outcome is dependent on more than just me, I don't get to determine what it is. The only thing I can do, the only thing I can be responsible for is what I do with the part that I have been given. And if the part that I have been given is to also speak in front of other people and give other people, then I have to be responsible with my words. I have to be responsible with my words that I put out. Like, I have to be. If I am not responsible with my words and with my energy, I can be part of the problem. And so for me, I can be diligent, right? I can get a little power. I got a $500 generator sitting in my cart at one of these places, right? For my mama's house. Sure do. Like all the things. Right, but you see what I'm saying? So listen, I'm not saying don't be practical, because I don't like to use the words realist and not. I'm not saying don't be practical. Everyone should be practical right now. Everyone should be practical. And at the same time, you do whatever you can do. Yes, baby. Yes, give me the thing and I'll put it on for you. Yeah, if y'all don't know, the new Sonic movie has come out, Sonic 3, with Shadow and Sonic. That's what she's saying. If y'all don't hear her saying Shadow and Sonic, and give it to me.
I went to go see it. I went to go see it with my 28-year-old son. So y'all know all about Sonic.
Okay, so let me tell you, it's out, and so I bought it for them, right? Because I took them to the movies. What did we go see? The Wild Robot. Because that's what they wanted to go see, which was good. We went, but you know, when you take 3 grandbabies and some to the movies, you spending a Benjamin, right? And I said, I'm about to buy this damn Sonic movie for $24 so they can watch it whenever. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I have watched this damn Sonic and Shadow 7 times.
It's a good movie.
It is a good movie, but listen. I'm done right now. I am done. I am so over Sonic and Shadow and Tails and Knuckles and Tom and all of them.
See, like I said, my son's 28. We went to go see it together. So
yeah.
So I watched him play the video game from the beginning. So
right. So like, I'm just sitting up here now. She said, Tutu, I watched Shadow and Sonic. I said, yeah, girl, just give me the damn remote. Give me the remote. give me the remote, right? It's on right there. Look, see? There's the rings. See? So this is all I'm saying. Okay. Here, will you take it? All right. This is all I'm saying is I don't want it to take forever. I don't want it to take a really, 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 really long time. So I'm not going to say that it's going to take a really, really long time, because I really do believe that what we say and what we do carry the same energetic impact, right? I really do believe that. And so because I believe that, I got to be responsible with what I say, right? Now, I might know realistically, it ain't like tomorrow we're going to all wake up and be singing Kumbaya in this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think,
I know.
I just want to be, I want to come from a place that says, while I can't say something positive is going to happen tomorrow, at the very least, I don't want to speak against it. That's the only,
Okay.
that's all I'm saying. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. And again, you know, like I said, I'm not a negative person, right? Which is, and I don't want to come off of that, right? You know, I respect you, Dani, and like I said, you stand on business just like I do.
Mm-hmm.
I just, for me, sometimes I think hopeful actions
You go get it.
disappoint
No, you
others,
don't say
and
that,
they
Dani.
don't get prepared because of the hope, right? I've never, like, I don't know any time in history, and I could be wrong, right? But hope has not saved.
Hope alone won't do anything, right? I always say, what does it say? Faith without works is dead.
So for me, I don't even need hope in my view, right? Because it does not save,
Stop.
right? What it does is make some people feel comfortable and not take action.
Stop.
So I don't really fall. I don't do that. That's just not my way of thinking and working things out, right? So again, I know I've been on here for a long time, Dani. You're probably sick of me, but I just want to.
I'm not sick of you. Listen, you do not bother me.
Right after the election, the day after, I reread Octavia's book. And if you know her book, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I reread it again, right? It touched me the first time I read it, and it centered me the second time I read it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I am looking at what can I do to say to keep people safe, whether they're in my community or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I'm working for the next 4 years.
Somebody asked you what book, and somebody else said Parable of the Sower.
Yeah, that's it. That's the book. So I just, like I said, you know, maybe in the next 2 years when we go back to vote, right? Maybe I can see maybe things have changed to allow me to get back in there and vote and push for people to get in office. But right now, I just don't have that feeling. Right now, I gotta focus on what I can do to keep the people that I love and care for to be safe.
Right.
That's all I got right now.
I got
That's
you.
all I can do right now. I don't have enough energy to keep having the same fight over and over again with no change. So I may change in the next year, right? But right now, my mindset is just all about me and my peeps.
Yeah, and that's okay. So this is my thing. All of us do things differently. All of us are in different places and different spaces for that reason, right? So like for me, I'm the type of person, my therapist would tell you this, by the way.
I want one too now.
I am never one. Listen, she laughs at me because she says, girl, if you don't know nothing else, you know how to not sit in it, right?
Yeah.
That's me. I can't sit in it because my daughters will know. Like if you gonna call me, I have to ask people, are you calling me just to vent, or do you want to do something about it? Because I'm a doer. I'm a doer about it, and I can take precautions at the same time. As you see, power banks and little mini gardens and shit, right? But I'm a doer, and I have to focus on, because here's what I know. I never say what doesn't change anything, right? I may not see the outcome of my action. I might not see the change that I'm hoping for, but that doesn't mean it's not there. And what I always know is that because sometimes I'm planting a seed, sometimes I'm watering, sometimes I'm reaping. And so maybe no, if I were to write Ted Cruz, I'm not going to see him all of a sudden have a come to Jesus moment and be ready to, do whatever. But it might be that letter, it might be that moment, it might be that email, it might be that tagging that is the seed. And then I have to just trust that somebody else is going to come along and water it. And it will do the work. So this is the thing. I just have to trust that the energy that I put out will accomplish its task, whether I get to see it or whether I don't. And it's okay if I don't see it. I literally, the way that I look at it, and maybe this is how I stay. You ask me how do I stay like grounded? This is how I do it. I always think, and I'm about to get emotional, and I'm sorry, but this is my thing, Shelly. This is what I always think. It's okay if I don't see it, because maybe my grandbabies will see it. Right? So if I work myself to the bone and I don't see it, but they do, then it's okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I tell that to my son too, right? Like, I'm gonna fight, right? I may not see the change,
right?
But I'm fighting to make sure that you see that change.
Right, 100%.
And if you don't see the change, then you pick it up so your children can see it.
That's it.
So I'm 100% with you on that, Dani. I really
am.
And listen, I enjoy talking to you.
You too.
Again, don't get mad at me.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Everybody is just at different places. And here's my thing. I don't think this is all we can do. I think that right now, because right now there's so many unknowns. See if you follow me on this. It's been 1 week, right? And there are so many unknowns as to how things are going to work out, because we don't really know yet. So like for me, I want people in Florida in District 1 and District 6, which this is what I said, those are red gerrymandered districts, and we know it. However, if people can work as hard as they can, it might not change the April 1st special election results, but it might put a dent in what is necessary for them damn midterms, right?
Got it.
So for me, I'm looking at, okay, so where do we have special elections? Where do we have city council meetings? Or where do we have like school board meetings and all the things, right? April 1st, they have an election, and that's for districts 1 and 6 in Florida. So like, that's for me. I just have to be focused on little places where we can be significant or get things moving, because what I don't want to do is sit back and not do anything in 2025 and then expect for something to change in 2026 just because we go vote. I want to be able to do the work the whole time. So I get you, and I feel I hear you. I really do. I just got to this place a while back I have to stay. I can't stay in the quagmire. When I used to stay there, I got to a place where I didn't want to be here, like at all. So for me, I've got to hold on to hope, know the reality, be prepared, be real about what the fuck is, and do everything I can to get where I want to go. So, but I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, darling. And again, I'm gonna stay in the comments. I enjoy listening to you. I know sometimes you see my comments, be like, okay, Shelly, what else you got to say?
I do. I'd be like, Jesus.
But you see that I'm an Aries, right? I'm a Gen Xer. So,
I'm a Gen Xer. So listen, I'm a Gen Xer. I'm a Taurus. I'm an Aries rising.
Come on with it.
And I'm a Virgo moon.
Well, look at you. Listen, then I think, again, you can influence me. I can say that. So I appreciate everything.
You are welcome.
Thanks for having me. Love you.
All right. You too, sweetie. All right. Bye. Raleen, why you say holy moly? Don't be hating on all my signs, y'all. Don't be hating on all my signs. Okay, Mila, not so loud. So before I go to Boxer Mom, let me say this. So that exchange between Shelly and I was critical and important because we are all in different places. Y'all hear me? We are all in different places, and not all of us can have the bandwidth to be in different places at the same time, and that's okay, and that is all right, right? It's just about, oh yeah, so Kelly Blue, you have a sun sign, which is kind of how you present. You have a rising sign, and then you have a moon sign. So, oh, in your head, Gen X is still 35. Listen, I'm telling y'all now, I don't know when people were saying, oh, we getting old. I said, girl, no, I'm not. You might be. I'm not. I'm not at all. And it's okay that we are all in different places, right? I think there is 100%, there is validity in how do you know what your signs are? Listen, small city, I say I'm cute as hell. How do you know what your other signs are? If you put in, oh, y'all saying, so the app that I happen to love is I like Time Passages. There's a ton of different apps out there, but I love Time Passages. So yeah, your birth chart will tell you. So like if you know where you were born, what time of day you were born, and all that, that's how you get it, right? You said as long as you stay away from mirrors, I cannot. Yeah, it's an app for your phone. Yep. Yep. So, yeah, you're welcome. So it's not that either one of us is wrong in where we are, right? It's about, so like I said, y'all, I bought a little solar powered bank, 100%. Sure did. So when the batteries are done, it's got all my little ports, all my little chargers, all the things, right? And like I said, the little bitty garden that me and the grandbabies are doing together. So like, it's got a little compass too on the side in case y'all ain't know, right? Yeah, I got it on TikTok. TikTok be sending me things. Yeah, I got it from TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop. TikTok sends me things talking about you've been invited to make money off the TikTok Shop, and I'm like, bitch, you don't even know if you're gonna be here in 6 weeks. Just kidding. But I mean, I am, but I ain't kidding. It tickles me. So here, I'll let y'all see it, and you can screenshot it. Hold on. My daughter got me the garden. I'll put a link to the garden. Hold on. Here, this is it. If you want to see it, take a screenshot and then flip it over. If y'all are on Facebook and YouTube, that's what it is. Okay, Mimi, go put this on the table by the garden. Go put that over there on the table. Thank you, love. Yeah, you're welcome. So, yep. So Carla, I said I have this one, Tootie. Not much because I bought it. I don't know. I'd have to look. Maybe $30. Maybe $30. Something. I don't know.
What it out to find?
Huh?
What it out to find?
You put it on the couch. Oh, she said Tutu. I put it on the couch. That's fine because she didn't put it where I told her to put it. Yeah, I can show it again. Hold on one second, sis. Hold on. It's right here. Yeah, I told her to put it on the table beside the little garden, and she said, "Tutu, I put it on the couch. That's fine." I said, "Okay, girl. Here, sit down. Be careful. You're welcome. So yeah, and then the little garden. The reason we got it, and I have one that I got at my mom's house. It's the standing one that's up top. But we got that one because the kids and I can do it, and it's really easy to do inside. So we're doing those. And so like we've got, like I said, in one of my carts, I have a generator that's there too. So, I mean, everybody is just preparing in whatever way you need to, right? Now, what I'm not going to do though is I can't operate from the world is ending. Oh, woe is me. Yeah, I have a balcony, Becky. But the seating that I have out there now doesn't leave room for what I need. So, Oh, cool, Becky. I'll check it out. Yeah. So here's my thing, y'all. I'm only 1 week in, so no, I have not done a go bag or nothing else. Listen, I'm just taking this as I sit down, please. Mila Ann, sit down. Are you trying to be cute? Are you trying to be cute? So listen, here's what we know. We know that. Hold on. I will do Tickle Monster in just a minute. So here's the thing to remember, guys. 95%. I'll do Tickle Monsters in a minute, please. She wanted Tickle Monsters.
Tickle Monsters. Tickle Monsters.
Okay, watch out for a second. Hold on, I'm gonna give you something. Some chocolate. Okay, hold on. Let me get it for you. Hold on. Yeah, right. She's hilarious. So here's the thing, y'all, right? So I think that it is smart to just be prepared and also, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, right? Take a deep breath. Plan, be precautious, right? Be prudently cautious even. Also, do not forget to find joy. Do not forget to love. Do not forget to laugh. Find joy in the small things. Not kidding. Like seriously, you have to find a way to do that in the midst of all of this, right? Oh, Cheryl, you can look it up. Look up the meaning of your sun, moon, and rising suns. You can look it up. Like seriously, I think that this is going to be a difficult lesson for many, many people, a necessary lesson. And for some people, it's going to hurt. For some of us, it's going to hurt worse than others. For some people, it will hurt worse than others, right? And you got to find out. Remember what I said. You have to find ways to find your joy in the midst of all of this. Okay. All right, let me do this. Let me do Boxer Mom real quick because y'all, it's already 15 minutes to 2. I don't know how this shit happened so quick, but it did. Boxer Mom, what you got for me?
Dani, thanks for having me up.
You're welcome.
I wrote something that I think may put some things in perspective for people. Would you mind?
No, go ahead.
Okay, appreciate you giving me the opportunity. All right, the name of this is called Then What? You shouted loud, proud. You pointed fingers, slammed doors, and screamed hate into the faces of those who built the ground beneath your feet. Allowing to thicken the immigrants, the women, the LGBTQI plus community, the so-called woke, painting them as enemies, as threats, as less than you. And then they left. So tell me, then what? What happens when the hands that harvested your food, that built your homes, that raised your children are gone? When the fields stand empty, the stores run dry, and there's no one left to do the work you turned your nose at, then what? What happens when the women you claim to love, to protect, to fight for, can't be doctors, can't be soldiers, can't be free? When they stop healing, stop serving, stop saving, and your daughter's future shrinks smaller than your own small-minded fears, then what? What happens when the LGBTQI community, the artists, the thinkers, the fighters, you try to erase, let their dream, take their brilliance, their passion, their heart, and go where they are celebrated, and you're left with the world void of color, of joy, of progress? Then what? What happens when your precious military, the one you cared for at parade, has no more brave women, No more LGBTQ+ girls. No more woke soldiers willing to defend a country that spat in their faces. When it's your son, your daughter, your loved one, putting their life on the line because you tossed aside the warriors who stood before them, and some don't make it home, then what? What happens when the doctors are gone, driven out by your laws, your fears, your ignorance, when the hospitals are hollow, the waiting rooms are endless, and no one's left to save you, to help you, to fix you? Then what? What happens when research dries up, when cancer takes root in your child's chest, when the cure that could have saved them was left behind with the people you pushed away, when there's no medicine, no answers, no hope? Then what? What happens when the air you once called clean, the water you took for granted, turns against you? When the regulations you mocked as unnecessary were the only thing standing between your family and disaster? When your home is poisoned, your lungs are weak, and there's no one left to fight for your survival, then what? You see, you thought you were winning, but all you did was push away the very people who made this country strong, the ones who worked harder, loved deeper, fought longer, stood taller. And when they're gone, and when they're really gone, you'll finally see the truth. And by then, it'll be too late. So I ask you, when all the groups you so loudly shouted hate at are no longer here to hold you up, then what? Thank you, Dani.
You are welcome. Thank you.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. Because it's awful the position we're in, but I think we have to all also kind of, I don't know what, Dani, kind of, you have ways of doing it where we have to let people know that you getting rid of all these things, what does that do for you?
Yeah. I think that people are going to be in for a rude awakening for a lot of folks who don't think that it's going to impact them, and it is. So
I live in Oklahoma, as you know.
yeah.
And they're crazy here. And yes, I did write it. I think
Yeah.
But here, they're even asking to have a state militia. What?
They're not the only ones.
No, I know. But I mean, like, I'm not even going to say it, Dani, because it would be degrading. So I'm not going to say what I'm thinking I'm going to say. But I think we can both assume what that is.
Yeah. Well, here's what I will say is that, Oklahoma is also taking a case before the Supreme Court to have a publicly funded charter school be Christian. Yeah. So
I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm getting the nephews we still having elementary school is getting to a point where they know what's right, they know what are facts and what is not, and no one is going to dare tell them different.
Right.
I don't give a crap what the state is, but it almost makes it to where you want to pull your children out because I don't want them surrounded by that.
Right. Yeah.
But
I know.
At the same time, what do you do? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, here's my thing. I don't know. I'm going to wait and see what the next school year brings. But let me tell you something. We learned how to homeschool during COVID. And if it becomes necessary, we know how to do whatever needs to be done. So Boxer Mom, they're asking if you will share the link to the poem or the poem in Discord.
Yeah, I'll go in there. Yeah, I think you probably know, I write quite a bit of poetry, and this was just,
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Give me opportunity. I know you got to go and you got to make some cookies.
Well, first y'all know it's almost 2. So what does that mean? That means Dominic and Bella are also about to get off the bus and be here and all the things. So it'll be snack time and all the thing time and whatever. I will be back this evening with more to talk about because we just today just was kind of like whatever it is. Hold on. I gotta okay.
Well, I'll jot down, Dani. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you too, sweetie. Appreciate you. What's up, T? Bye, sweetie. What's up, T?
It's been a minute since I got to speak with you.
I know. How are you?
I'm doing well, and we're all doing well. But I want the 328 people in your chat live to know that hope is alive, is well, and it is well with my soul.
Yeah.
And I see hatefulness all around me every time I turn on the TV. But hope is alive, and it is well. It may hide its face for just a minute.
Yeah.
But it is there. It is there. And we all just have to keep on marching through it and just keep on going. That's all you can do. And look past all the crazy, because it's easy for me to go down the donut hole, the rabbit hole, whatever you want to say.
All the holes.
All the holes. And I wanted to parlay off of some of the things that you was talking and other people. And we've all, for the past however many months it's been now, or days that it's been, since the election, we've all dissected this thing till there ain't no flesh left on the bone. It is gristle attached to bone powder. There is nothing left to dissect. And in my personal opinion, it doesn't matter. We have to come to the realization, or I did, as you know, with my family, the majority of this country decided to vote for hatefulness. And that's a hard pill to swallow.
Yep.
Sometimes it's not about the Republicans had a better platform, the Democrats didn't do this. People voted for what they seen. They voted for what they heard. They voted for what was in front of them. They chose hate. And we have to come to terms with that. You can dissect this pig, you can put lipstick on it as much as you want to. That is what our neighbors, and in my case, some of my family, that they voted for it.
Right.
They voted for this hate that we're seeing on TV now of people being rounded up like dogs, and it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
It's hateful. It is hateful. I'm for rounding up anybody that has done or committed some kind of a horrible, heinous crime. I want no one to be injured. But to rip families apart that work, what are you to gain?
Yeah.
What are you to gain? What do you gain by this? It's hatefulness. And we have to come to terms with the fact that that's what the majority of this country voted for hatefulness.
Yeah.
The sad thing is we all have to go through it with them. For them to get their aha moment, we all have to sit here and go through it for them to get their aha moment.
Yeah.
And that's just simply where we are. I don't know any easier way to put it, D.
Yeah, there's not.
And I want to know why in the hell you got a generator sitting in a box somewhere that your mama needs. Because if your mama needs a generator, then there's 324 people in here that need to give $500 for that generator. End of story. End of story. This is my PSA moment. I don't ask, but this is ridiculous. Jenny gives all of her time, her love, her heart, her effort, her energy, her strength, her mind, her physical body. For shit's sakes, people, $500. There's 324. That's over half right there if you just give $1. So Dani, post up there on the top of that page what your boxes is, where you can receive some kibbles and bits, and we're gonna send you some kibbles and bits to get your mama a generator, because you bless me. I cannot turn around and not bless you. And I've tried many times. I don't say nothing. You know, you get a Venmo from me every now and then.
And I appreciate it. I do.
But I'm not saying that for my own flowers. I just.
Yeah, no, I do. I appreciate it.
Put your Venmo. I'm being the boss right now.
Yeah, I think Lisa just, Linda just did, I think. What, girl? Because the last time I put it up there, TikTok wanted to get me. What, girl? 1 minute, please. Jeez.
And $500 isn't much, considering the fact that yesterday I could find no eggs, and I did finally have to go into Publico's, because I call it Publico's, and I paid $14.99 for 18 eggs.
You did what?
Yes, $14.99 for eggs.
That's
yesterday.
crazy.
That was the only place left that I could find in my city that had any eggs.
You're
And that was
hooking,
for
right?
18.
See? Making the people food.
I see, baby.
So how many people food?
Oh, are you trying to tell me? Are you hungry? So
Tutu.
appreciate it,
Tutu,
Nancy.
yeah.
I'm laughing.
Tutu,
Hold on, I have
yeah.
to just tell you. Yes, bird flu is
Tutu,
part of it. Yes,
tutu.
baby.
Yes, it is.
People don't know.
So this child has managed to pull up the Google Maps on her phone, right? But let me tell y'all, because y'all know when I'm on here and I need to feed them, a lot of times I'll DoorDash, right? Yes, baby.
And how many other food?
So she sees the little red pin on the Google Map. She said, Tutu, they coming with the phone. They can know. She said they coming with the food. That's what she said.
That's so funny.
Because she's so used to me pulling up the DoorDash, and I'm saying the food is coming, baby. Tutu's working, and so Max, I went looking and comparing different ones, and so I found one that was like $4.49 that was a decent enough size, like for my mom's place. I appreciate you guys, and so it's just sitting in my cart because so. This is one of the reasons, like I wanted my mom to move, but now that everything is going on, like she owns the house and the lot beside it. And so it might not be a good time to go anywhere, right? It might be good to stay where she's at. My other one is thinking about, appreciate you guys. Another one is thinking about getting an RV or a camper to put on the back of the car so they can just become mobile. And then of course they could always park it in my mom's, next. So like we're thinking of all the things, y'all. Like we really are. I just don't sit in it for a long time. I don't sit in it for a long time because I want to make provisions, and at the same time, I just want to have like for right now, I feel like we are in a time where it is okay to be loosely proactive and just have like a semblance of a plan, like an outline of what would happen. So and where what does that look like?
Costa Rica, I will stop and pick you and all them babies up, and we will just go on our merry way.
Listen, we can make it happen. So like people will think I'm nuts. I literally have bought I have a portable hotspot. So that I can just call up and do like whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like that is Mila back there with the damn light, sleepless. So let me. Yes, and so right. So like it's just this. Okay, so listen. So don't freak out. You can plan while you wait it out, folks. Listen, this is like this is. Let me just say this to you guys, and I appreciate all of you guys that are heeding T's call. Let me say this, okay? Yeah, I appreciate it.
And I pray that she stays safe and sound, and I know you will take care of her.
I was just messaging her because they had snow again. And so I was messaging her. I have a wireless charger too, right? So all the things. And so that's the part. So listen, planning is not a bad thing, but planning from a place of prudent caution is smart, right? And so yeah, so this is my thing. The things that I'm doing aren't from how can I say this? The things that I'm doing aren't from fear. Appreciate you guys, right? And so you can plan, but not from a place of fear, and just being prudent and just all of those things. Because here's something to remember, and this is a fact. Don't ask me where I heard it, but I'll get it from you. Listen, 95% of the things that we are scared of never happen. 95% of the things, yeah, you just bypass it, Laura. Yep. So, but I want you all, yep, because Edith, you don't got to put my whole government out there, but yep, that's me. Listen, this is when I'm glad TikTok don't save these damn lives. But so right, Joan. So, but listen, so 95% of the things that we fear, that's okay, Edith. That's me. Y'all, my middle name is Danielle. That's my middle name. I go by Dani. Oh, Kevin Mitchell, that might not be a good one because I don't know that I use that anymore. Ooh wee, folks, we got a lot. Okay.
It's a good day, though.
It
It's a
is.
good day. It is a good day, and we have hope. At $14.99 for 18 eggs, I still have hope. Thank
I
God
cannot
can
believe
afford to get an egg.
$14.
Yeah, I took a picture of it.
What did I pay for mine the other day? I want to say I paid $7.
But I want everybody to realize this is a learning.
Yeah,
Give everybody a learning moment.
it is going to be a learning moment.
For 4 years, people bitched about the price of eggs. Now you ain't gonna have no eggs. See how that works? Now you don't have to worry about the price of eggs.
Oh,
Now that rolls.
yeah. And here's my thing. So literally what I plan to do, T, is as soon as we get to be about March or April when the farmer's market opens back up, I intend to go to the farmer's market and just buy from local farmers.
Absolutely. The boy, he's a young guy. He looked at me and he said, we're about out of them. He said, but we got some quailed eggs we're about to bring out. I said, what the hell am I going to do with a quailed egg? I'm not a finch. What am I going to do with a damn quailed egg? A quailed egg. I don't even know what to do with that. Boil it, poach it. What do you have? I can't say what else I said because there's ladies in here. I don't know what the hell you want me to do with a quailed egg.
Hold on, let me tell her I'm not off yet. Hold on one second. Jesus, I got too many things going on. But no, yeah, T is hilarious. In case y'all don't know, T is hilarious. Mila, you are on one. Can you take it down just a notch, baby? Yep. Okay, that would be fantastic. What? Okay, baby. Hold on. Ooh, hold on.
You're gonna be back on tonight?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to hop off from here so that I can get back to work so that I can afford $14 eggs.
Yes.
You let your mama know that your family, your TikTok family, said bless you.
I will do that, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you all. Yeah, I do. All right, we got a lot to talk about tonight because I didn't get to any of it today, really much. But I feel like, listen, the conversations that were had today were very, very, very necessary. So I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I will see you all tonight. T, tell Mama we said hi. Love you guys.
I'll do it. And one last parting thing, they just text across CNN that Trump is on tape saying the best thing to do is just go ahead and clean out and level out Gaza.
Oh yeah, no, he is. He said it. He specifically said clean it out. And so someone was talking about the fact that he was saying he was using it in relation like to ethnic.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. Girl, you are wide open. All right. I'll see you guys tonight. I appreciate you all very much. Have a good one. All right. Mila, she's on one today. I will see you guys.